give equal credibility to this symposium. On behalf of the entire LR family, I once again welcome the esteemed dignitaries, dear students, beloved teachers, and my dear research scholars. Welcome to the symposium. August House. No words are enough to welcome our esteemed dignitaries in the symposium. To compensate that, I am inviting our dear students, Sandali and her team for a lyrical welcome note in the form of Swagati or welcome song. I invite Sandali and the team on the stage.
मन की वीणा से गूंजित ध्वनि मंगलम, मन की वीणा से गूंजित ध्वनि मंगलम। स्वागतम 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 स्वागतम। मन की वीणा से गूंजित ध्वनि मंगलम, मन की वीणा से गूंजित ध्वनि मंगलम। स्वागतम 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 स्वागतम। कैसा पावन सुहावन समय आज आप आए, कैसा पावन सुहावन समय आज है आप आए। देव की भांति पूजन करें आज हम, देव की भांति पूजन करें आज हम। स्वागतम 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 स्वागतम। मन की वीणा से गूंजित ध्वनि मंगलम, मन की वीणा से गूंजित ध्वनि मंगलम। स्वागतम 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 स्वागतम। मन की बगिया से हमने है कलियां चुनी, सदा के फूल से हमने माला बुनी। मन की बगिया से हमने है कलियां चुनी, श्रद्धा के फूल से हमने माला बुनी। करते हैं मिलके अर्पित सुमन आज हम, करते हैं मिलके अर्पित सुमन आज हम। स्वागतम 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 स्वागतम। मन की वीणा से गूंजित ध्वनि मंगलम, मन की वीणा से गूंजित ध्वनि मंगलम। स्वागतम 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 स्वागतम।
Thank you, dear students, for this melodious expression. Your melodious expression has vibrated the ambience and created the perfect harmony that we require for today's symposium. Thank you. Every great event begins with a spark of light. In our tradition, light is the symbol of positivity, wisdom, and dispelling of ignorance. To mark the auspicious beginning to our symposium, we shall have lighting of lamp ceremony along with Saraswati Vandana. Invoking Goddess Saraswati, the of our esteemed dignitaries to come forward for lighting of the lamp ceremony. As we rise in the divine Oli on the stage for Saraswati Vandana.
Sa sa re sa ni ni sa ni pa pa ni pa ma pa ma pa ni dha dha da sa pa 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 ni ma pa pa ni sa ah Ma Saraswati Sharade Ma Saraswati Sharade इससे क्या है उदति से इससे क्या है उदति से वीणा पानी तार दे तार दे तार दे माँ सरस्वती शारदे माँ सरस्वती शारदे सरस्वती सरस्वती शारदे माँ शारदे शारदे माँ शारदे श्वेत कमल तेरा श्वेत हंस तेरा वाहन है श्वेत कमल तेरा सन है श्वेत हंस तेरा वाहन है हम पर सिद्ध दृष्टि कर जननी बोध क्षीर की धार दे वीणा पानी तार दे तार दे तार दे माँ सरस्वती शारदे माँ सरस्वती शारदे आ आ शारदे 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 थैंक यू
We express our gratitude to our esteemed notabilities for gracing the lighting of the lamp ceremony and for resuming their seats. I also thank our dear student Annapurna for this beautiful rendition of Saraswati Vandana. May I take this opportunity to conclude this segment with a powerful and ageless sanskrit. Sarve bhavanti sukhinam, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुर्भाग् भवेत्. Meaning, may all be happy, may all be free from illness, may all behold goodness, may none suffer from sorrows. May it be so, may it be so. After lighting of the ceremonial lamp and Saraswati Vandana, it is an extreme privilege for us to invite the patron of the symposium, our dear principal, Dr. Uday Singh ji on the dais, for formally open the symposium. Sir, may I please invite you on the stage.
Honorable Chief Guest, Chairman of the session, Professor Jagizar, Professor Zeen, Dr. Shivaji, Dr. Joshizar, and Mere Bhagwan, all students, जिनको usually मैं मेरे भगवान बुलाता हूँ, Professor Zeen, without students, an institution cannot be in existence. A teacher has to have the learners. Today it's a red letter day. We are going to have a national symposium on hybrid mode, especially on the topic exploring the world of artificial intelligence in academics with very unique feature, that is with demonstration based training. So I was very lucky. The demonstration which is going to happen, I had a glimpses with Professor Joshi and we had a good discussion. So today we are entering a field which is a vision of every nation, which is a vision of every society. Because artificial intelligence is such a field which is solution, which is a field which is having maximum possibility. Because whenever we say that our brain has memory, but artificial intelligence also has memory, and it has got so much creative features. When we go to machine learning and we go every level advanced in virtual world, learning how best it can come with a keeping all the dark phase down to encourage the learning. And here the learner has a unique facility when he is interfacing with a machine which is having all the features is able to train the youth as per her requirement, his requirement. Like even take example of a GPT, anything which is asked, instant answer you get as a suggestion about
today is not whether we are going to accept it or not. The real question is, are we going to transform us with it? The question is not whether we can ignore it or take it with us. The real question is, be fast to learn it, as there is no alternative now. It is a reality and it will be a reality. Every event, every program, every symposium, every conference has a framework because it needs a vision, a guidance. To provide a framework and guidance to our symposium, we have today with us our honored convener of the symposium, Dr. Neeraj Tiwari from Department of Physics, who is also the head of IQAC in this college. Dr. Neeraj has always been a pillar of academic leadership and has been a source of constant encouragement to both the faculty and the students alike. Under his stewardship, IQAC has done immense work to enhance not only the institutional capability and quality, but also foster a culture of thinking constantly for the betterment of all. May I now invite Dr. Tiwari on the stage to set a framework and a tone for the symposium ahead.
मैडम से कुछ कहा?
Thank you. Is it audible? Respected chief guest, distinguished speakers, principal sir, esteemed faculty members, and dear students. It gives me immense pride and joy to extend a warm welcome to all of you on behalf of the organizing committee. Today's symposium is not merely an academic gathering, but a platform where ideas converge, where innovation meets responsibility, where the future of knowledge takes shape. The theme before us is exploring the world of artificial intelligence in academics. To begin, let us reflect on the very idea of intelligence. At its core, intelligence is the ability to learn, to reason, to adapt, and to find solutions in the face of challenges. It is what has allowed humanity to progress, to build civilizations, create knowledge, and shape the future. When we speak of the artificial, we refer not to something false, but rather to something created, something crafted by human ingenuity. Thus, artificial intelligence is the creation of systems that can mimic aspects of human thought. The ability to analyze, to learn, to recognize patterns, and even to make decisions. It appears as one of the greatest achievements of our collective knowledge and collective innovation, extending the boundaries of what intelligence can do. We have entered an era where AI is reshaping the way we think, work, and connect. But as we celebrate its transformative powers, we must pause to ask, is technology serving humanity, or is humanity adjusting technology? has the capacity and many regional conflicts. Sometimes even kids, aged and helpless are not spared. Then despite our gains, it appears that humanity is at crossroads. The other concern is ecology and environment. We cannot ignore our responsibility towards ecology. Technology must not become a burden on the environment. Instead, it should become a partner in preserving our forests, rivers, climate, and material resources for generations to come. Ecology tells about the interrelatedness of animate as well as inanimate, the intricate web of life that weaves our beautiful world. It also tells about our limitedness, limiting the exploitation of resources and energy, so that not to increase the entropy, as well as preserving the resources. We need a paradigm shift for dealing with our world, with ecology guiding the new paradigm. We should have we should hope artificial intelligence provide us further insights
so that to preserve and sustain our small yet beautiful world
socially and economically.
I
I sincerely hope that today's discussions will not only expand our intellectual horizons,
but also inspire
but
us.
also inspire us to act with conscience, compassion, and courage.
On this note, I
once
again
again welcome you all
and look
and look forward to a day of AI
meaningful
meaningful exchange and training. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Giovanni, for your insightful words and for laying down the framework for this symposium. Your guidance has provided us with clarity of thought and sincerity of purpose. Success of this symposium are like words, are like blessings. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Dear all, we are extremely proud to have with us today the honorable member of our esteemed management committee, Dr. D.K. Tyagi. He is the ex-Chief Conservator Officer, Indian Forest Service, Maharashtra Bharat, and is also the chairperson for today's symposium. May I have the honor of inviting him on the dais for his address so as to guide us and bless us in a few words.
The invited dignitaries, Dr. Lee, Dr. Principal, Law College, Dr. Shiva, Dr. Shiva, Dr. Arvind, Neeraj, the convener of this AI symposium, all the faculties from different colleges, and my institutes.
Friends,
Friends, as in the introductions,
Our principal
our principal has said
learning
that
is a continuous
learning
process.
is a continuous process
Has no limit.
and knowledge has no limit.
Correct.
That is correct. But we should understand that the science, when I was in college, we used to go to the primary schools, secondary schools, and then colleges, and then, I did my MSc botany and then PhD. There was a one topic which used to become for essay in English and Hindi both. Science is a good servant, but a bad master. Now, when we comes to the, this AI thing, unlimited, possibilities. You can use the artificial intelligence. And now, artificial intelligence, why we are calling it as artificial intelligence? Because intelligence, CI is related with the living things only, which has got the natural brains, including human beings. The moment you put something into the machine, it has become an artificial. And now, I was in the forest service, we used to deal with all natural things. Whether it is a vegetations, whether it is the wild animals, whether it is the water, whether it is the soil, it's all natural. But with the introduction of the computer, now it has become the artificial. AI has a immense applications. You are seeing that auto-driven car, it's all AI based. Now driver has got no utility or vehicle Tesla as it produces new car and
The locations,
you
destination,
just put up the locations, destinations, and that car will itself take you to the destinations. Now, what will
similarly, yesterday my friend
came from Pune, and he said his son was working as a product manager, and with the introduction of AI, the post of product manager, most of the multinational companies are doing. They said now the AI will, sort it out based on the data, based on the things, and then AI will sort out everything. Now, as Dr. Neeraj has pointed out, Udayji has pointed out, AI has got the limitations also. Immense possibilities you can use in the medical science, you can use in the environmental science, you can use in the ecology, you can use in the economics, you can use in the social sphere also. And as we are in the symposium, we are exploring the possibility of use of AI in academics. Perfect. Learning of language. It will help the students to learn the language better. It will help the students to calculate the calculations very easily. But it has got the ethical issues. Nuclear fusion, nuclear fissions, Dr. Uday has pointed out, it's a scientific process. When we use the nuclear fission and nuclear fusion for generation of electricity, very good. But the moment you have converted them into the atom bomb and hydrogen bomb, it has become a nuisance to the society. Like AI has got a limitations and it has got a immense possibilities also. Deep learning, deep learning, as our honorable PM has also pointed out, deep learning is combining AI with the machines. But it's negative. Its negative aspect is what? Deep fake. You can, mock any photo. You can, copy the language and spoken and styles of every, human beings, and then you can misuse it. Cyber crimes. Cyber crimes are coming because of this. Most of the time is because of the AI technology. Because they are either, mimicking the human voice, or they are, using the morphed pictures, something like that. So what this, that symposium is about the academics, and then academics should see both the side of the coin. It has got the positive things also. Yes, we should use for the welfare of the society, for the welfare of the human beings, like in the medical technology, like after the AI, what will be the role of the radiologist? The AI will, scan all the ultrasounds, all the X-rays automatically and give you the best results. It will not solve the problems. Problems will always be there. It will provide you a solution to the problem. Now it is up to the human being whether to use that solution or not to use that solution. I'll request, all the students, there is no need to, having any fear. If it is a good technology, if it is a good tool, we should learn it, we should use it with the limitation. When we joined like 1984, that computer came. People say that, oh, computer aa gaya, now it will, bring the unemployment. Yes, of course, it has created the new jobs, but it has taken some of the jobs also. Then came the, the initial 84, then come the communications, mobiles. The revolution in the communications, mobiles, now every students or every parents or every teachers is working on the mobiles. Outdoor activity has gone. Plus and minus. You have to see the tools from both the sides, whether it has got the limitation, it has got the possibilities. You use the possibilities for the welfare of the humankind, you use the possibilities for the welfare of the state, welfare of the country. But try not to use the negative things. I'm thankful that the organizer of this symposium have invited me, given me the opportunity, and then you all gave me the patient hearing. Thank you very much. Use this symposium as much as you can. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for your thought-provoking ideas and your words of blessings. It means a backbone to us. Your insights have provided us the kind of guidance that will always resonate with us, and we will take it as takeaway from the symposium. Thank you very much, sir. It is now my extreme privilege to request Principal Dr. Uday Pratap Singh Ji to kindly felicitate our chief guest, Dr. D.K. Tyagi, with a souvenir by presenting him with the friend of environment and the cause of good atmosphere. A symbol of positivity are green plants. Thank you very much, sir. This is our token gesture to thank you for being the backbone, the persistent support, the perennial guidance that you give to us. Thank you very much, sir. As the tone for this symposium has already been said by convener of this opportunity to outline the agenda for the benefit of participants. We begin with the keynote address by our notable keynote speaker, Professor Jean-Charles Lameron. We then move on to segment of invited talk by our invited speaker, Dr. Shiva Kanogia. This will be followed by another invited talk by our invited speaker, Dr. Arvind Joshi. Then there will be a sum up segment to be presented by convener Dr. Neeraj Tiwari. After this, we shall break for parallel demonstration, and thereafter we shall join for the lunch. May I ask Dr. Neeraj Tiwari to add anything else? Thank you, sir. Now, esteemed gathering, we have arrived at the moment we were waiting for it eagerly. Our keynote session. It is in this session that the theme of the day truly comes to life. The keynote speaker gives us the vision, the direction, and the thought that we may be lacking or we may be wanting support of. Today, we are graced to have with us illustrious academician whose contributions to field of artificial intelligence and information science have been par excellence and recognized across the globe. Our keynote speaker is Professor Jean-Charles Lamarelle, a renowned academician and a researcher of international standing. He is full-time faculty member at the University of Strasbourg, France, where he has been teaching and conducting research since 1997. Since 2016, he also has been serving as an invited C-Sky full professor at the Dalian University of Technology, China. Professor Lamarelle earned his PhD in 1995 and his research accreditation in 2010. He is currently teaching artificial intelligence at University of Dalian and artificial intelligence and information science at the University of Dalian. And he also is engaged in research in library science and computer science at University of Strasbourg, France. Over the years, he has supervised more than a dozen of doctoral scholars, with several more currently under his guidance. His scholarly impact is remarkable, with over 160 publications and more than 50 invited lectures worldwide. He also has actively participated in organizing multiple international conferences. His work has established valuable collaborations with prestigious institutions including NIEHS USA, NSC Taiwan, KU Leuven, Belgium, making him a truly global scholar in artificial intelligence, information science, and computer science. It is indeed an honor and a great privilege for us to welcome such a visionary academic leader to our symposium. Today he will be speaking on a theme of great relevance to all of us, that is artificial intelligence and digital information. As Albert Einstein had once said, the true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. With these words, may I now invite Professor Jean-Charles Lamarelle to deliver keynote address of this symposium. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a warm welcome to Professor Jean-Charles Lamarelle.
Very much. I wonder if the mic is working.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Let me try. Changing the slide. Changing the slide. Maybe this one? This one better? Yes. No, not changing the slide. Okay. I'm going to change the slide. This is not moving, you know?
Not moving.
Operation?
Sir, Archana?
Okay, this is okay. To move the slide.
Slide me.
Yeah, but I want to change slide. Okay. Who is changing the slide? Okay. And then? PowerPoint.
Sapna, please switch off. Just a minute.
Yeah, perfect. And then
Sapna, share off करिए. नहीं नहीं.
okay. Oh. No, not working.
So if they.
This one? Okay, this one. Okay, right. Good. Get
Use
this
the
one.
keyboard
Yeah.
and they put it in this.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
Just a presentation.
Yeah, okay. So, okay. Thank you. So thank you very much for the invitation. I'm very pleased to come to your place. I'm a bit familiar with India, so I like to interact with India. Change the information architecture, but also the role of the information scientist in the future. So that's my concern of today. So by the fact, what I will try to explain in some way is the fact that the documentation task can be optimized by language model. So this is the case of most of the documentation tasks. More than 85% of the tasks could be optimized by language model because one part of this task could be automatized under the control, of course, of the documentalist and the librarian. So what is very important is 80% of the task could be processed in a reduced time, and the experimental experiment have proved that the reduction is high, so it could reduce to 80% the processing time for all the documentary tasks and the document processing task. So also what is important is there will be some change in professional role of documentalist, and this is interesting for you because there will be new professions emerging due to the arrival of artificial intelligence, and what I will detail in my presentation. So also there is a timeline for setting up projects in which you will include AI, okay, in your library. So And we estimate that in a 2-year time frame, you can set up a full AI-based documentation system in a library. So that's what I want to explain also. And of course, there is also some critical need for ethical framework and human oversight, so that the humans are not dropped out of the system. They have a crucial role in estimating the validity of information that are produced by AI and especially by language model. So that means that in the near future, okay, even in a perspective of 1 year, documentalists who master language model will lead the profession. So you become the leader of your profession if you take some energy and you take some time to understand how AI is working and how you can put the AI or include the AI in the documentation system. So what is a language model? I will try to explain you shortly. A language model is some artificial intelligence which is trained on massive text data set. So the more data you have, the best will be the training, but there are also parameters for the training that have some importance. So the parameter for the training that has some importance is the size of the AI system in terms of connection you will deal with. So AI system, and especially LLM, are based on what we call hierarchical, multi-level, anchor architecture. What does it mean? So you will represent information in the system by compressing this information. And once this information is compressed, you can decompress this information in another way. For example, if you want to translate from one language to another one, you will compress the language representation in the internal model of the AI, and then you will decompress this information in another language. Okay? So in some way, the internal model of the AI is some kind of language independent model. Okay? It could be applied to any kind of language understanding. Okay? So this is a multi-level system. That means that there is not only one step, but there are multiple steps in the system to make the encoding, and there are also multiple steps to make the decoding. Okay? It's what we call a transformer. So a transformer is based on another very interesting thing, is that we call attention. Attention is the idea to take into account the context, okay, to take a decision. Okay? So if you want to take a decision on some word, you will look the surrounding word, okay, in the sentence, and the decision will depend on the surrounding word. So the attention is to find out which of these words is important to take a decision, knowing that you are focusing on one specific word. Okay? What are the neighbors that could have some utility to take the decision? Okay? So this is important. So this model, we call generative model. So that means that they will generate an output knowing an input. This is very interesting. Why? Because you're never sure that the output you will generate is something that you know in advance. You can generate something that could be novel. Okay? The generation process is an open process in which you can generate novelty, okay? New ideas. So this is important. So generating novelty is not always generating the truth. Okay? So some novelty are something which is unreliable novelty. That's what we call hallucination. Okay? Hallucination is the fact that you generate something that doesn't exist. Okay? So this is important to understand. So the internal representation of this language model are based on what we call embeddings. So the embeddings is a compressed representation of the word. Okay? So instead of representing a word and separately to the other one, we represented the word that shares some similarity in the same place in this compressed space. So the synonym words will have the same place of representation in this compressed representation of the system. And once you go in the higher level in the system, you are representing a relation not only between words, but also between word combination. Okay? And then the higher the level in the system, the higher the combination is abstract, and the higher you are taking into account the whole text of the whole document instead of only taking into account some single words. Okay? And generate human-like language. Okay? So this is the idea. I can take a simple example of a simple way of you can think about this kind of way of behaving of the language model. Suppose that you want to write a book of Shakespeare. Okay? Why not? You say, okay, I can copy Shakespeare literacy. Okay? So what you can do, for example, is look to the single letters in the book of Shakespeare. Okay? So you will try to guess the next letter of the book, knowing the former letter in the book. Okay? So if you go one letter back to know the next letter, would it work? If you take, for example, 200 letters back and estimate the new letter knowing the 200 letters back, it will work. System will be capable to generate something which is coherent and representative of what you want. Okay? Learning that kind of context is complicated, of course, right? Okay, you need to, estimate the probability of the new letter, knowing the probability of the combination of the former letter. So if you have 200 letters, there are 200 multiplied by 200 combination of letters, okay? Sorry. So it's complicated. So the scale of the model is important. The number of internal connection in the model is what we call the parameter. So actually, up to now, we have model with 170 billion parameter, like GPT-4, okay? But we will increase the number of the parameter of the model. So we estimate that GPT-5 will deal with 1 trillion parameter, okay? 1 trillion, more than 1 trillion parameter. What does it mean? In machine learning, when you try to set the parameter of a model, you need data, okay? The more parameter you try to set, the more data you need. So that means that you will need a huge amount of data to make the model learning, okay? The more parameter, the more difficult will be the learning. But the more efficient also will be the internal representation of the system of the language, okay? Right. So the fact, if you understand my point, is that this model will have capability of reasoning, planning, and creativity because they can generate everything, okay? Then they can also generate things or take into account different media, like not only text, but images and audio and code, also programming code, and they can generate programs. Okay, they can learn how to generate a program that is producing a given function. Okay. If you ask to Claude, for example, to write a program that is doing that kind of stuff, he will make it without any doubt. What is important is the context window, as I said before, okay, like for the book of Shakespeare. The larger the context, the better you can be precise, okay, in expressing some need, okay, and the better the system will understand you, okay. The small context, like a small query for Google, is not a good idea with a language model because it's not enough for the model to understand what you want. Okay, right. So what could be, for example, the application in documentation? So an example is, as you know, a task of documentarist or librarian is to generate summaries of book, of paper, of something like this. So automated summaries is something that could be produced easily by this kind of model. This model are multitask model. They can produce summary, they can make translation. So it depends on what kind of decoding you express to the model. Depending on this decoding, you will get a different task. Okay, right. You can also enhance searching by semantic and conversational searching. Conversational searching, you ask some question to the system is providing an answer, and then you can correct the answer. You can have a critical view of the answer and ask to the system to correct its answer, depending on observation you make on the former result. Okay? So this is also true for metadata generation, indexing document, for example, with keywords or with category. Okay, this is also true for quality control, which is very important for documentaries. If somebody comes with some fact, you can try to ask to the system to verify the fact or something that could be completely, irrational. The system could check if there is rationality or non-rationality in this fact. Knowledge management, of course, mapping the relationship and the insights and building up knowledge graph. Okay. Recommendation, which is already done by the commercial application like Amazon and others. They are using AI. Alibaba also is using AI extensively to recommend the product to the customer. Okay. Now, as you have seen with Google, when you query Google, Gemini is producing something which is a synthesis of the results you can get, but this is driven by AI, of course. This is another version of the response to your query. Okay. Document collection, topic extraction, and tracking is more difficult for AI. Surprisingly, AI cannot tackle with huge collection of documents as a whole and extract information from this. So in this case, we combine AI. This is one part of my work. We combine AI with statistical reasoning, okay, or statistical method. This is very complicated. We can, for example, use embedded representation of the document, but then we have to mix AI output with some statistical methods. Right. So if you look comparison between traditional and AI answered documentarist. So the first one, the traditional, is manual cataloging. So AI and cataloging will be automatic semantic analysis. Okay. And it will perform certainly better than documentarist, at least for proposal, because he has larger context than the one you can deal by yourself. Physical organization is the book organization in a library is becoming intelligent architecture for these libraries and make the libraries cooperating together, okay, to get some extended answer. Okay. Reactive assistance is becoming what we call proactive AI guidance. Okay, the AI will be used also to make some proposal to some user. Okay, it will take part in the process. Static process are becoming dynamic knowledge synthesis. That means because the knowledge is evolving over time, what is important to know is you have to deal with some kind of dynamic analysis, no more static analysis. You cannot focus on one single collection. No, you have to imagine that there are a potential concurrent collection that could be included in your query or synthesis process or analysis process, and this collection will evolve over time. That means that you have to do some synthetic online analysis of information and no more classical and limited estimation of the collection content, for example, as you. And basic literacy training is becoming personalized learning. So that means that you will be transformed as documentalist from gatekeeper to intelligent orchestrator. So your role is in some way better. You are not just keeping the book in the library, okay, and taking care about that book. Yeah. You are not anymore taking care about that book. You are orchestrating behavior of intelligent system and combining this system together and making them reacting to the user needs. Okay, and deciding also with your critical sense or your critical observation if the answer of the system is correct, or you must maybe go one step ahead to have a better answer. You can do many things, which are in some case outside of the scope of documentation, but not completely, because, for example, you can document codes, program codes. Okay, while documenting program code is interesting. Why? Because the people that want to reuse your program, they need to know how the program are working. Okay, and which API, I mean, which interface they will have to use, and for which reason, and with which function. Okay, so the system would help you to make documentation of program, not only documentation of books. Okay, this is important. You can also make some kind of dynamic summary and adapt your summary to the audience. Okay, to the people. Okay, so you will not make the same kind of summary for a specialist or for some person that doesn't know so much about the topic. Okay, so this is what is interesting also is you can do some multilingual research. Okay, I told you before that this system are language independent, so they can query books or documents in any kind of language, and then translate them in your own language as a result. Okay, so they will query something which is outside of the scope of your own, surrounding. Okay, and mix the answer of your own surrounding context with a larger scope context, because there is no limitation of the language manipulation by the language model. Okay. Interactive training material and scenarios also, of course, you can build up easily that with this system, and also estimate the quality of some information. For example, if you want to know if a paper is a good paper or a reference paper, you can ask to the system if, for example, the paper is referencing correctly, the citation quality is good enough, okay, is accurate, and things like this. Okay, so that is for me very powerful. Okay, system. So so the idea is still use LLMs for scaffolding and then human for validation. Okay, you are not put out of this process in any case. Advanced search and discovery. Okay, this is what I said before. Okay, and you can also what is so natural language queries, semantic search. Semantic search means understanding intent beyond keywords. Okay. One user which is producing a query on Google, for example, he doesn't know sometimes exactly what he wants to query. Okay, so finding the intent of the query is more important than using the query directly to produce some result. So this system are able to find it, okay, and to help to transform the query in order to orient the query to the intent and not only to the basics content. Okay. What you can do also, which is very powerful, that has not been done before in documentation, is search by multimedia search in diagram, in figures, in table, in image, okay, at the same time as searching in text. So it becomes much more, extensive and accurate research. So of course, this also depends on the size of the context of the system. A system which has big context, it can manage a whole dialogue with the user. So, and managing the whole dialogue, it can come back to the former interpretation of the output of the user behavior to correct his behavior for the next step. And knowledge graph construction and relationship mapping is important. Constructing a knowledge graph sometimes is a synthesis of the content of some information, and this is very powerful for interpretation. Okay, we can construct a knowledge graph of a paper, okay, instead of providing the user directly with the basic text. Okay, it would be very useful, especially if you have more than one paper and you want to find a relation between papers and things like this. This is great. So quality control and fact checking, as I said before, citation validation and reference accuracy. I say that having the good reference of a paper is important. Are not, as you know perfectly, the last paper that have been produced, but it could be some kind of seminar papers that are produced in the past, okay, that are more clearly describing some concept than the last one that have been produced, that just adaptation of something of that concept. Okay. So, consistency checking across document collection. Are the document collection consistent, or the document collection is just an heterogeneous set of documents with no relationship together? Okay. But the limitation is the hallucination, of course, as I said before. Hallucination can be produced because of the generation process. Okay, so you have to control carefully if the system is not prone to hallucination, and some systems are more prone than other ones. There are some systems that have what we call self-awareness. What is self-awareness? Self-awareness is the capacity of the system to estimate the quality of its own knowledge. Okay, the level of certainty of what he is, producing. Okay, there are some LLMs today that have a very, very good self-awareness. Claude, for example, produce something completely uncertain, or they will just something for which they are not sure. Okay, of the truth. This is important. So again, human expertise is essential for validation. So that means that the documentalist remain the ultimate guarantor of information integrity. Yeah. Good. So what are the skills? You know perfectly that when you query a search engine, you just use keywords. When you query LLM, you use what you call a prompt. Okay, the prompt is the expression of your need that is exploited by the language model. So the standard prompt can look like a query to a search engine. Okay, you can ask the same question to GPT than the one that you ask, for example, to Google. Okay, that is not a good idea. Better idea is to use what we call retrieval augmented generation. So instead of just giving the system a small query, you will give an example of the result. Okay? Example of the result, you will query some example in some information database, okay, you will put this example in the context in complement to the query to say to the system, I want this, and it should look like this example I provide to you. Okay, so the context is getting bigger. So the system here is more prone to find. Okay, is clear? Yeah, yeah. What is the chain of thought? Chain of thought is another way of making the system reasoning and learning. Chain of thought is decomposing the result in, okay, decomposing the result in a kind of subset of IDs and chaining the IDs together, make the system understanding what you need. For example, you can ask to the system, what is the blue color? Okay, and why the oceans are blue, instead of just asking the system why the oceans are blue. So the system is more prone, okay, to understand what you want to do and the way you want him to reason. First define the concept and then use the concept that has been defined, okay, to provide explanation on the work. Okay, right. So that means also that you must understand in some way the AI capabilities and limitation, okay? The basic concept of machine learning, which data to use, and what are the influence of the learning data on the system. You know that if the learning data are not good, okay, it will not work. If you make a system learning with white people, it will not understand what the black people is, okay? This is true for LLMs too, okay? If your data are imbalanced, you have a lot of data on one category and a few on another one, the system will not be able to understand what the small category is representing. Okay, so these things are important to understand. You can understand this thing at the global level, not in detail, but you must be aware that this is very crucial to make the system learning correct. Okay? Right. Yeah. And for you, also, as a documentalist, you must continuously learn because the system will evolve over time. So in the next year, there will be change, okay? And the system will become more powerful. So you need to adapt. Well, okay. I have not so much time, so I will just give you some idea of what kind of function a documentalist could have, okay, in the future. Oh, sorry. So these are ethical considerations. Of course, when I speak about ethical consideration, the critical view of the data you use for learning is something which is very important also. To be sure that the system will not be biased, okay, and produce something which is only related to the data he has used for learning, which is not representing the real world. Okay? All right. So, this is the future professional opportunity. Okay? So, you will become, for example, AI documentation specialist. So, you will be able to optimize language model application, including the fact to fine-tune this application to your specific okay, relevant data for making the system having a better what you want to represent, which kind of data are useful for collecting the data which will be used to feed up the system in the learning phase, okay, to make it adaptable to your program, okay. Knowledge system architect, so to build some kind of knowledge ecosystem. Digital curator, okay, that is a function of collaborative content management between AI and you, okay? And then other ones like how to deal with innovation in AI and information management practice. Okay, also that could be an interesting function for you. Right. I will finish. Okay, with some practical tool you can use. Okay, up to now. And the tool you will use, the LLM, as some of them are specialized. Okay, these are general purpose LLM here, but there are also some specialized LLM that could be used in your own domain. Okay, for example, for academic research, there are specialized LLM like Semantic Scholar AI, which is very prone to do some academic paper search and synthesis. Okay. There are also other applications that use some backstage LLMs, existing LLM, but that drive the LLM using some prompt engineering, for example, Elicit. There are some other things that are doing some symptometrics to find the connected papers, for example, publication network visualization and analysis. This is interesting. This is collaboration network analysis, and others are specialized in multi-step. Okay, so this is ones for document management version AI. Be useful for you and could be integrated in an ecosystem. Okay, that is a multifunctional ecosystem that provides multifunction in documentation analysis. Okay, right. So I will stop here because I'm not. Example working here. I just want to show you some.
This one.
Okay, yeah, all right. So this one, okay, it's coming. It's slow. Right? So this is just so you will get the presentation, but I can illustrate the time you will gain, okay, using AI, for example, instead of using the classical method. Okay, for example, if you want to make a summary of a document of 50 pages, okay, for you, human, you have to read the document, to take notes, okay, it takes time to from scratch, and prompt the system with a simple query like create executive summary focusing on key findings and recommendation. You will take something like 45 minutes, okay, with the control of the output of the system. Okay, so well, this is the case. If you search information, okay, this is coming. Okay. If you are searching information, you can query your own libraries. Okay, you have to set the query, and then, for example, if the query is related to documents or papers that are in a specific time frames, like the 3 last year, a paper published in one domain, you have to filter the paper by yourself. Okay, you get the query. The system will make it automatically, okay? So, and we will propose some keyword for the search also. So the time you will spend for making it manually is almost 3 hours, and the system will spend only 20 minutes. Okay? So you earn a lot of time with that kind of technique. It doesn't mean that you have nothing to do, but something different. Okay? Right. So I will finish here. To say, because you can look to my presentation, there are more details, again, because we have more time. So my conclusion is language models are not replacing documentalists, they are empowering us to become more strategic, efficient, and impactful information professional, because you will have a larger coverage, okay? for answering to the users because you will manipulate more information. Okay? So LLM enhance than rather replace human expertise. So, and if you want to progress in the system integration, you can start small with one LLM and then put more system in the process, okay, to be more powerful and more multifunctional specialist. Okay. Of course, you have to maintain ethical standard and quality control all the way. That means that you must control the quality of the output, and if there is some problem, it could come from the data, for example. You have to adapt the data or to provide more data for learning and things like this to the system. This is possible, and so and so. Okay, so your role is still here. Okay, you are still important person, but you become more universal specialist and strategic specialist than before. That's it. Okay. Thank you very much. So I try to not be too technical today. So I hope it's more fitting with your profession. Okay.
Thank you very much, Professor Laminate, for your insight through your keynote address on AI and digital information. Your words have given us not only a glimpse of how AI is reshaping academics, but also given us encouragement and motivation to embrace change and adaptation. Thank you very much, sir. We will now open the floor for a brief question and answer round with our keynote speaker. I request the audience to kindly be brief and crisp so that we can accommodate as many perspectives as possible. May I invite the first question? Yes, Bhavna. Bhavna, may I request you to please introduce yourself beforehand?
Hello, sir. How are you? Sir, this is Dr. Bhavna here. I'm in Commerce Department at LR College, Hyderabad. Sir, my question is, you have told us about so many LLM tools. So which LLM tool is the easiest and the most user-friendly to start with? Sir, I am a starter. So which tool I should start with learning?
while making the reliable academic content. When we are teaching in the classroom, sometimes when we are teaching in the classroom and we have some topics, so we just go through the AI tool to get the information. But sometimes these tools which they give the information vary from the like our personal knowledge and as well as vary from the what you call books knowledge. So how much it can be trusted or reliable tools?
So he's asking whether these tools are reliable or not. Whether we can trust all these tools, academic tools or not.
Yes, you can trust academic tools.
Then which academic, which tool, which AI tool?
Okay. For the academic, for the tool, I think some point, some academic some of these tools, sir, some you can act on the model by changing the level of model to make it compact. So you can change general description of the model, make it specialize data. Okay, this is quite easy to do. Okay, it's not so difficult. Okay, there are some codes you can find easily that help you to make this. You just have to provide the specific input data, the good definition of data to make it. It's different from that general model and the one. So this is what I'm doing. So we can use all the tool. Tool. First, slide private tools. Tools is private. GPT is you can use change prompt to expect another answer. Okay. So that's what you call prompt engineering. There's some example that you can use from data. With the answer system. So as a documentalist, you know, this information in your database. Okay. So this information to be feed up in the system in the prompt to make the system reasoning better, more accurate, and avoid hallucination. Okay. So this is first step. And you will for sure a better answer than the answer which is provided with a single small query. Okay. Like the classical query we use for as I said before. Okay. So this is efficient. You have a collection. You know the collection. You know the content of the collection. You know how to query your collection. So you can insert this information in the query to an LLM, even a generic one, and it will answer better and more accurate. Okay? This is very good.
Thank you very much, sir.
Can we do it with the permission of Professor Lander? Can we take one more question, please? Anushka wants to have a question.
Safeguards are essential to detect or minimize the hallucinations or fabricated facts produced by LLMs.
Minimizing the hallucination.
Or fabricated facts produced by LLMs. How can we safeguards are essential to detect the hallucination or fabricated facts.
Minimizing the hallucination is providing the system learning. The risk is to hallucinate. So this the system with a good learning. It can invent something if some specialized query in a context you don't know. You don't know the context, so you try to find the similar context. For similar context from the scope of the domain, the output will be tell me. The goods generation, the system always try to produce some output. So all these systems are some set awareness. For example, I'm able to say, okay, guys, not enough information to decide. Please provide me more precise or something that can be that better. Okay? Otherwise, chance.
We can produce some other.
It depends on the data. All this process is depending on data. You generate with some sample. Okay? Output. But that the system is doing, it's trying to find the output or the input. Okay? We try to generate the output. Out of the scope of the domain of knowledge, for example,
Thank you.
Student Anushka wants to ask a question. with Professor Ryan.
One more question, sir. I think
You can you please take your seat and then answer the questions. Thank you, sir. Please hand over the mic to Professor Ryan.
I think one last question.
No, we have one or two more, please.
Okay, so for a student aiming for career in cutting edge AI or in either in AI enhanced data specialist, what is the one study area you believe that absolutely essential? Et quel conseil donnez-vous à Jules chercher pour se démarquer le domaine? Quel conseil donnez-vous à jeunes chercheurs pour se démarquer dans le domaine de la AI? Oui, to be an AI specialist.
We understand the basic concept for the academic model, most common that data best thing to do is to become less dependent on so be able to use data system.
Merci beaucoup. Professor Lamel, this is from my inquisitiveness. AI is being developed by different countries differently. Now, how far have we gone in building collaboration and dealing with this new challenge? Or how far are we lagging in this respect? No, I'm not comparing any country with any other country. I'm talking in global perspective. Any new challenge needs global collaboration to meet the. We doing enough as an international community or global community to meet this new challenge?
So, what is clear, AI is the level of collaboration. It's very surprising that in the past system, collaboration discussion awareness developed the network research, for example, was less developed than today and with the help of AI. So the people are able to find based on production collaborators, the huge research network will be able to find each person can have to collaborate in some research program. Help to find each of the innovation it's the same for finding talent. Finding talent without such a way. System is developed to catch
We aspire that the global community works hand in hand to meet the challenge. Otherwise, there's. Thank you very much. Very much, Professor Lamir, for honoring the question and answer session. it's a proud moment for us as we are readying new collaborations. Thank you, Professor Lamaril, for accepting this token gesture from our side. Thank you. There was principal, Dr. Yudhishthira. Please resume your seats. We now move to our next segment, the invited address. Our invited speaker today is Dr. Shiva Kanodia, Deputy Librarian at prestigious Jawaharlal Nehru University. Dr. Kanodia has built a distinguished career in the field of library and information science, with notable expertise in academic resources, digital libraries, and modern information management. She has served at B.R. Ambedkar University, Agra, and Chaudhry Charan Singh University, Meerut previously. She has guided MA, MPhil, and PhD scholars. She has guided MA, MPhil, and PhD scholars, contributing to building young human resources in the field of knowledge. She has authored 6 books and published widely in national and international fora. She has been invited resource person to deliver lectures in the domains of traditional library services and emerging digital academic support systems. Today, we are honored to have with us in this national symposium. We are honored to hear from her on the theme research ethics and writing in the context of AI. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Shiva Kanodia.
I was about to ask what if I'm audible. I was about to ask whether I'm visible. Good afternoon to everyone. Be obvious. I'm feeling afraid actually on these steps. No, I cannot stand. Very good afternoon to all, and I'm very much thankful all the outset to Honorable Principal, Professor U.P. Singh, and respected Madam Dr. Poonam Sharma from Modi Nagar, dear friend Dr. Neeraj Tiwari, which answers many seniors, the audience, my dear students as well. And because I don't know many persons, but I know most of them are seniors to me. Students, they are always some source of inspiration and encouragement. So when we are listening about AI and different kinds of tools related with the research, writing, and having data, compiling all those reports, and how efficiently we can use those tools in our writing purposes and different other academics also. There comes the plagiarism in picture, how it is affecting. And when we are talking about AI, so things are now being seen in the perspectives of artificial intelligence. But before I begin, I will say 2 things here. I hope many of you must have heard a song, An Englishman in New York. Okay. It is by Sting. But today for Charles, I can say a Frenchman in India. So and he is speaking English with French accent, so it may be a bit difficult for youngsters to understand that accent. And also, whenever we say about artificial intelligence, we can never undermine the value of human mind. It is all up to we should consider that. And whenever we are judging any tools or any data which we are receiving or grabbing through AI, We should always keep our consciousness in our doings, in our acts, how we are using our own intelligence in doing things. So AI is always secondary to human intelligence. It is we who are creating this AI. So let's begin with this plagiarism issues and research ethics in the context of AI. Before I reach there, I would say about what are different yes, areas and concerns. On the screen, we can see certain news items. These are various news items. Many a times we keep on listening, somebody caught in plagiarism trap, somebody copied something. So these are different things which we really cannot forget. Whenever we are writing, we have to take, yes. We can see that one celebrity chef was found or some song from Adele European Center that was also a controversy. Then how we can relate with the plagiarism? Since I was allotted 20 minutes, so I have to be quick and be gone. So bear with me with the speed and so whenever we are copying somebody else's ideas or we are representing them as one's own, suppose somebody has written a paper, but I'm using those words and presenting them as my own, then I'm committing a problem of plagiarism. So what are different activities which fall into that thing? They are like copying, infringement or copyright issues, all those things, stealing the information. So on the screen, we can see one red key and one green key. So red is the alert. If we are copying, then it is the area of danger where we are landing. But if it is original, it means we are facing no problem. So this is one definition we can focus upon. Unauthorized use of the language and also another author and the representation of them as one source. So what does it mean here being unauthorized? Means there is no authority to use those words which have been written by somebody else as one's own. So there is certain mechanism that we have to use things like referencing or giving credit. Only that is the authorized use to refer and use those words in our writing. These are certain stages when we can be facing the problem of plagiarism. So we should be careful, like there is the planning stage, evaluation or conducting the research. Also, there are potential costs and benefits associated with how it is related. But when we are planning for the research, we should take our time management into picture. We should go thoroughly about our planning. Also, whenever we are conducting research, whether they are involving animals or human beings or the research materials in the laboratory, we should be careful. And while we are conducting the data survey, we are collecting data, we should be careful that we are not doing anything wrong. Also, when there is evaluation, somebody may be friend of mine, I may refer his or her name for thesis evaluation. But I cannot use my friendship for that evaluation. There should be fair evaluation of their thesis, or if somebody is reviewing a paper, there should be thoroughness in that review process also. And when we talk about potential costs and benefits, definitely we all are getting different kinds of research grants and funding from different organizations, even in our own country. So we should be careful that we are fair in our research and data collection, everything. Whenever there are commercial researchers, there is a large amount of funding only to have a desired result. We can take example of various fairness creams or different other medical products. There are chances of biasness in the research. So sometimes there can be mistakes. Somebody can come committed plagiarism. So there can be certain doubts how much I can copy or I can use the information. It is always the human consciousness which should prevail. So there is no room for copying or pasting of information, but having the original ideas, properly referencing them, citing certain sources which are really strengthening our thoughts as author. So what may be the concern here? We can focus upon the definition given on the screen, like fairness to authors and other students and responsibility of the scholars to do the independent research. Research is always associated with a uniqueness. There should be no place for duplication or some force and things like that. When we talk about fairness to authors means whosoever has published earlier literature, they should be referred, they should be cited if the research works are associated. So these are certain common types of activities or plagiarisms, like direct plagiarism where we are copying information directly as it is, or self-plagiarism. There is one UGC regulation also. It was given in 2018, self-plagiarism related regulation, that we are supposed to cite our own previous published work as if written by somebody else, some other author. We cannot copy and paste from published material. What happens at certain places? Somebody wrote one chapter, two chapters, then they published one paper or second paper. Then they are writing their own thesis. So what's happening? Those things have already been published. And they are submitting their final thesis. Now they are going to have check on the thesis. Then it is shown similarity with the earlier published papers, then they are in trouble. They cannot submit that thesis. There have been so many cases in this scenario. Then UGC was forced to bring this kind of regulation. And there is mosaic plagiarism when we are copy pasting one or two sentences from one paper. Suppose I have taken 5 papers, and from those 5 papers I am copying certain information and pasting. So we are creating the mosaic. Also accidental plagiarism if language is not fluent, we are with, or we are thinking that it may not be the plagiarism, but somehow it is happening. So there are certain other types of plagiarism also, like global plagiarism, verbatim plagiarism, paraphrasing, or patchwork creation. So how a researcher should initiate? There are three things given on the screen. First, we have to understand concept of original authorship and moral and economic implications of it. We all know since childhood we all are taught moral science, that what we have to do, what we don't have to do. So in academics and research scenario, we also have to follow certain rules and regulations framed by our universities and UGC as well. Also, we have to follow clear planning for research work. And we all know about TEL, which is very much important. We all have tools, resources, databases, devices, but we have to use all these things in smart ways. So what are different ways to avoid plagiarism? Okay, I've prepared this beautiful slide to understand, like paraphrasing, citing, giving references, giving proper quotations. All these methods are to be used so that we can avoid plagiarism. What may be acceptable in quotation and paraphrasing? Whenever we are listening any news item on television, we are supposed to see as it is and put in double quotation marks. Suppose Prime Minister has stated something for um, providing research grants to higher education systems. So whatever his words are there in news, we are supposed to copy as it is. But we have to provide double inverted comma. For those things, we really cannot modify anything, but we are supposed to use proper punctuation. Also, then we have to give the proper credit, proper reference from where we have got to know that news, from where we have heard, which news channel, which time, newspaper, which page, like that. Also, whenever we are using that quoted information in our writing, we are supposed to put double quotation marks so that we can differentiate what is the quoted material and what is the original thought of the author. So UGC has given the yardstick of 14 words. So up to 14 words consecutively, if they are like that, it may not fall into plagiarism. But software catches more than 3 words as plagiarism. There is difference. There are many common words like we are using male respondents, female respondents, or institution name, your own name. Everything will be shown as similar information that UGC has given the exception. So we are supposed to give credit whenever we are using information from different sources, published sources, or different specific kinds of sources. if we are supposed to find out information on population of India, definitely we will be searching some gazetteer or some other kind of information, so which is particular in nature. Suppose Manorama yearbook or any other kind of that kind of publication. So we didn't generate that information. We don't dream about Indian population. We definitely have to cite that source. These are few examples. So what needs to be cited? Any published information which is in public domain or which can be accessed in any way. In different formats. It may be digital, it may be print in any way. Even if you are consulting a thesis in your library, you are supposed to give reference, give credit for that. So why we are supposed to cite different sources? Because it provides authority to work. So it shows the growth and development in a particular subject area, how it has grown also. Whenever we have to check the cross references or we want to see the validity of different claims made in any article, we can check that also. Also, these are few four conditions I should say that we are supposed to write whenever we are using distinctive ideas or structure, if we are using some information or facts or data from a particular source. So if it is a verbatim phrase means copied as it is information. Also, if it is not common knowledge. What is the common knowledge? Everybody knows that on 2nd October it is birthday of Mahatma Gandhi. So in our country it may be considered as common knowledge. But if I'm asking about when India sent some equipment to moon or when this Mars activity happened, which year, when, who did. So it is not common knowledge. We have to find out some source related to ISRO. Then only we can provide the information. So it is important to use resources effectively. It is the responsibility of researcher. What they are studying, what kind of literature they are searching, then presenting that information in research papers. As an author, they are responsible to provide their own thoughts in the writing, also how other literature, other published papers which they are referring to, they are adding or strengthening or comparing, how they are really being relevant to their own writing. So there are two aspects, why and when we have to acknowledge about idea. If we are referring to some specific method or theory or the arrangement of material. Those who are students of psychology or botany or zoology or chemistry, they must be relating to these things. Because there, if we are conducting some experiment in chemistry, then there is certain steps which we have to follow. First, we will heat up something, then we will pass some other element, then we will pass it some other element or gas on that beaker. These are the things. Okay, when we are following certain list of processes, they are specific also. If it is a medical mixer, then certain characteristics they may also be significant. But there are certain cases when there is no need of something, like if it is common knowledge or something has originated in your own mind. We all are human beings, we are born with brain. Most of the times we think also. So if we have found something nice, so we are the originator, there is no need for giving credit or acknowledgement. But there are few exceptions, like if it is some common sense observation or you have conducted some poll to collect data or you have created a music file or video like that. So in those conditions, we are not supposed to cite anything. But there is the psyche of imposter syndrome. Most of the times people are active. What if one has something or submitted the problem of vandalism? So whenever they are in doubt, they should be cited. So that they should be able to highlight the originality of all ideas of author. Also, what kind of development practices in a certain area, certain field. We all know, even if you go through the history of this college, what kind of courses were being run 50 years ago. Suppose you are writing an article on the history of the college. Then what happened after 20 years of establishment? Then what kind of facilities, infrastructure were developed? So there change it. But if you are writing an article, then you must be showing the development in a particular area. Also, what kind of references we are using, if we are comparing or particularly examining something or we are supporting somebody else, then these references are very useful. Also, it is very important who said what. Suppose I'm quoting someone from the morning session. Principal said, sir, said few nice things. There was Dr. Tani who also mentioned few nice things. But now I'm thinking, okay, my seniors have said very beautiful things. Now I want to steal their idea. Should I do? No. If I want to use any information given by those my previous speakers, I should be making it clear. Okay, Dr. Jani mentioned X, Y, Z. The thing mentioned X, Y, Z. So it is important to make it clear who said what in our writing. There is no place for vagueness or ambiguity in research publication. Madam, ये चल रही है. I think I got a break for consuming water. So there is one important issue of copyright also. Most of the people get afraid, okay, there may be some copyright infringement. They are two different concepts. So we can understand here by comparing them. Plagiarism and copyright violation. Violation of academic norms is plagiarism. Copyright violation is illegal, and both of them happen when it is an offense against the author, and when ideas are copied, it is plagiarism. And whenever we are committing an offense against the copyright holder, it may be publisher, it may be author, or it may be society. We are copying some specific fixed expression. I'm very much sure everybody has seen that's why Michael Jackson. Who says no? Everybody must have seen Moon Dance, Moon Steps by Michael Jackson. If I'm dancing here like him, you will immediately refer, okay, it is from Michael Jackson. So what is that? It was his invention, those dance steps. Even in many different kinds of other writings or expressions, there are certain steps, certain kind of frameworks which other people have devised, they have created. Then immediately our mind goes there that okay, it was invented by that person. What are different common students issues they commit, the errors they really do? There are two things I have written. If it can be done, it's okay. Is it okay? No, it is never okay. It is copyright infringement. Look, many years ago, I used to copy. Suppose I purchased one music CD, 300 rupees. I'm talking about 20-25 years ago scenario. And one of my friend, okay, he or she wanted, okay, Shiva, I want to have these 5 songs from your CD. It's fine. The person came with the CD and offer of cup of tea. I'm very much flattered. I allow. Songs were copied first from my CD to my system, then from system to his or her CD. Since if it can be done, it's okay. It was very much technically feasible, so it was allowed, it was okay, but I did the crime of piracy. Then one kind of permission is not total permission. There are many open access resources where there are different conditions given. Even in libraries, whenever we are accessing ebooks, one chapter can be downloaded or 3 chapters can be downloaded in one go. Maybe 100 pages are allowed in one go. What happens? Okay, I test my friendship with people. 3 persons in the first row are my friends, so I will test them. Okay, you download 100 pages, you download 100 pages, and you download 80 pages for me. So I exploited people, but I did something wrong. So these things should be taken care. What is required? Language skills are very much important. Then referring to that information which is not common or originated in my own mind or as author's mind, Also, if somebody is not the inventor, the person has not created or generated those ideas, then we have to be careful. So, what kind of things are important? Whatever UGC or different universities, different institutions, they laid down the rules, they should be followed. Also, library professionals, they are also useful sometimes. They can be consulted for different rules. Also, we are supposed to have style and originality check for three things: verbatim information or citing correctly. Also, right kind of information. Many smart students think, as per the UGC rule, that references are not important. References are very important. If I'm checking a file, first I go for references because either they have been copied from only two, three papers and one article has been completed. It is caught. What they are doing, they are not giving correct information, correct bibliographical detail in particular reference, and they think it may not be caught. References are always checked for authenticity and validity of the research. So these are few screenshots from the UGC, what kind of efforts they have made, UGC people. These are having on awareness programs, like we are interacting with each other. Higher education institutions, they are responsible for conduction of such awareness programs. So their scholars are aware and they can really produce good research, submitting thesis to implement. Also, it is very important to understand that what we have to exclude, all quoted work with all necessary permission or attribution. It is excluded. References, bibliographies, table of contents, preface, acknowledgements, in science, generic terms, different kind of laws. Even if I'm saying, okay, it is writ of mandamus, I didn't create writ of mandamus. It is one phrase. So it may show similarity, but it is not copied. And different standard equations. Also, there are many common words which may seem similar. Software will show similarity, but it is not considered as plagiarized. I said for different terms. So up to 14 words, they can be excluded. Like institutions name, suppose you are writing an art college Kaziaba, it may show similarity, but it should be excluded. So there are composition of two panels, two committees at department level and higher education institution level. It is very important because sometimes our colleagues they commit some mistake, then somebody knows, they place a complaint. Then at the department level as well as the college and institution level, there are two panels. They consider everything, they inquire, they check, they compare, then they come to the final results whether plagiarism has been committed or not. Everything happens as per the law and the natural justice principles. So this is showing the composition at two levels. Now we come to the different kind of penalties. If somebody commits plagiarism mistake or they do it deliberately, they copy thesis or do something, there are four levels: level 0, 1, 2, 3. If it is up to 10%, as per the UGC norms, there is no plagiarism mistake committed. They are free. But if it is in between 10 to 50%, then they have to revise, and they are given the time period of 6 months. And so if it is level 2, 40 to 60%, they are given the time frame of 1 year, then they can submit their thesis. But if it is more than 60%, it should be assumed that the person was really not interested in research or going to library or collect literature, reading, writing. So they are excluded from the research programs. And for research publications, for faculty members and different other kind of professions, labels are same, but penalties are different. If it is in between 10 to 40, manuscript will be withdrawn. If it is in between 40 to 60%, not only the manuscript will be withdrawn, they cannot supervise for 2 years. Also, they will be not given one annual increment, which is a really severe loss. It is more than 60%, then manuscript withdrawal as well as two successive annual increments will be gone with loss, and they cannot supervise scholars for 3 years. It is another initiative from UGC. So we are supposed to have honesty in our research communications and teamwork so that we can achieve transparency and excellence in our research. You know what happens? Uh, Today, me and my three friends, we are writing an article. Suppose today after tomorrow we are in fighting mode, and suddenly some will say, "Why you are first author, and why I am the last one?" So whatever the conditions in transparent manner at the beginning of work were laid down, they will be ruling. Otherwise, nobody can publish a paper. Many things happen. So integrity in research is really important. And when we talk about AI, definitely mind, body, and technology, they all are merging into each other. But they are supposed to work as per the ethics, law, and integrity. So we what are different normative ethics involved here, what different regulations UGC and our university lay down, and what kind of workplace and social values we have to follow. We can be friends, but not in our work. In our work, we are supposed to follow rules and be transparent. Otherwise, there are always issues later on. Different examples are given here for plagiarism checking softwares. I think your university is also using Turnitin. These are different tools. These are few screenshots showing how Turnitin functions, creating class and assignments. Those and papers are uploaded, submitted. That's all. But what I'm showing here is that yes, we can see the yes, we cannot see the similarity. It is so small. The font is so small, and the image seems blurred there. But we can see one red. So the cursor is visible there. This is the red portion. It shows my it is more than 80%. Okay, and now it shows AI similarity also 30% like that. These are some test files like ABCD. It shows 83% overall similarity. It is a dangerous state. Then we can see again. So not only the textual similarity, but also whether AI tools have been used or the text has been purely generated by AI and then that became part of your writing. So everything is checked here. You can see AI is detected. So how we can avoid academic misconduct with AI? We should declare what kind of tools we are using. We should have transparency in our writing. Also, whenever we are using any tools, those tools are meant for assistance, not to become some parallel writer for us. I cannot assign some AI tool to write for me, but I can use some AI tool. Okay, like please just collect some data or summarize it like that. So there are different ways where we can use AI. Charles has told really very beautiful information. Her different tools are there, and Dr. Joshi will also be throwing very good light on all those tools and mechanisms. But in our real writing processes, that we can summarize, we can outline the research, or we can have feedback. All these things we can do. And does using AI counts as cheating? I have seen yesterday one article. It was related with biomedical sciences, and in a very beautiful manner, those two authors declared everything. At what stage, for what purpose, which AI tool they have used for what kind of assistance. So that kind of transparency is required. Tools are for assistance, but we should be careful. Also, ethical usage of AI is important. And whenever we are working anywhere, everywhere, so we are supposed to follow our university's rules and whatever publishing platform we are submitting our work. That is also important. What kind of transparency and declarations they require, we should follow. Few best practices are like disclosing the tool and method we have used, also checking different documents and tracking the writing process also. There are different software if we are using that they are used. So transparency is the key. We can avoid any kind of controversy if we are transparent. So is it academic dishonesty if we are using AI? No, but it depends how it is used and on our institution's policy, what kind of permissions are granted. Also, if it is presented as entirely student's own work, definitely that student is a trouble. They will be considered as academic misconduct. So there are a few publishing ethics also. There is one example of committee on publishing ethics. They provide different kind of regulations about authorship, conflict of interest, and different other conditions also. Suppose some co-author is gone to God, then what will happen? What kind of authorship will be declared there? So different regulations are there. Then citation and references. There is one thing, data fabrication and falsification. Most of the times the students go out, okay, they are collecting data from 50 other scholars, but they are presenting as they have conducted a big survey and they collected data from 100 or 200 scholars. It is not enough. It is considered as falsification. And there is another thing, cooking up the data entirely made of data, that is also a crime, data fabrication. So people should not indulge in these activities because there is no teacher who cannot catch his or her student doing something wrong. So whenever scholars, young students think, I can do this, my teacher will not judge or he or she can avoid it. They are always being caught. So happy authoring. Thank you so much for your patient hearing. I think temperature is rising. Thank you so much. Any questions are here?
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your enriching and thought-provoking reflections on research, ethics, and writings in the context of AI. And your reflections have given us glimpse of peeping into a time of AI. So we are opening the question and answer session with Dr. Shiva Kanundia. Professor Charles has a question.
You cannot go back. Who will take you back? Okay, yes.
This is just a small question. Because in research, we are confronted with this problem. Okay? Just taking an example, that the fact that showing the overlapping is a problem. Saying that over 10% overlapping can be justified. But before that, I am a specialist of the domain. I'm doing some state of the art. Okay, in this domain. Then I will do some, okay, on paper, and this paper, I will use the same state of the art. So, that means that I'm auto-plagiarizing. I'm auto-plagiarizing. Because on paper is looking like on paper.
Yes.
Only because the state of the art is auto-plagiarizing.
Yes. And it's fine when you see brought up with the regulation of self-plagiarism in India. In Indian context, I was saying, we cannot self-plagiarize. We cannot use previously published information from my own paper. I can only refer to as if it has been written by someone else. Information is useful. Also, plagiarism in any way, self-plagiarism in any way is not allowed. Yes.
This moment, this moment, this where I could analyze in which place of the document the problem is located. And with that, somewhere the plagiarism of detection, if this is just something same person, okay, but the use of something that could be reused in somewhere because it's logic in some way, especially in the comment, okay, we can integrate the same state of the art or more or less. This one is some change, but one of the state of the art. No,
State of the art may be accepted, but when we talk about similarity of plagiarism, definitely both are different things. Similarity is different. Plagiarism maybe It is only 3% of similarity, but article may be generalized. Then there will be many benefits.
May I write another question? Dr. Sapna? Mine.
You should know how to shower.
For the wonderful talk. I just want to ask, like, in this era, when there are so many changes to and health, there are things, how do you detect that it's not health safe? Like, and there are many things the AI, the human and also. How do you detect it is not in
I tell you what, the publishers are smarter than the writers. They are always one step ahead. They have tools. Even when people were using, when turnitin was in initial phases, 15, 20 years ago, okay? Even then they were using cross-referencing, cross-reference check. So there are many methods to determine whether article is original, the writing is original or not. The types of references are there, that is another area of worry. Okay. When we are talking about tools, it means there are always certain things. How much you will humanize that AI written text, even then it will be found. It's about the wisdom and judgment. If we are comparing one article to another, their references, their writing, their pattern, it will be found that there is nothing new in this article. That's how publishers decide because they want novelty, they want something new, no duplication of research. It's not about only I copied something and I paraphrased. But what new things I'm bringing in, that will decide the quality of my research.
then in the case of thesis, when we have research paper, then we write thesis. The text will be similar, the state of art will be similar, research will be similar, but it will be different in different things.
Framework will be same. The tool you are using, suppose you are using one questionnaire to collect the data. Same questionnaire you will be using for writing one article, and same questionnaire you will be adopting for a large scale data collection for your thesis. But you will be referring that I'm using this tool device by that professor or that theorist. Will you not be referring? You will be referring, even if you are using some only for this case. But you will be giving that name and reference because I didn't invent that research scale. So we will be referring to that.
Part of your like a text, he is taking in paragraph, not a reference part. So how we can select the
It is very easy. It's very the punctuation part. The words in the near proximity of full stop. How your sentence is beginning and how it is ending. The next sentence. Because most of the times I keep on looking how it is being taught in the software. Frequency of words. You are paraphrasing. You are roaming around those kind of words only which have already been used in previous papers. The original paper from here you are copying. You are not writing something new. It is no more different from the previous paper. Only paraphrasing or using synonyms or antonyms, not original writing. We are supposed to give originality, new ideas, new topic, new problem area, not the same area of research.
Take my water.
I contact it or band कर.
Take the deal.
I want to draw the attention not to the plagiarism in respect of AI, but plagiarism in general. I mean, what should be considered as climate? I've seen in the journals of global affairs that very reputed authors have written one of their works in one journal and kind of reproducing their own work in some other journal. Replacing one line, two line, one para, two para, or three paras. And they're not the journal people like us, the journal researchers. They are internationally renowned authors and
पेपर क्या पेपर शिकायत होती है पेपर वहां से उड़ा दिया it is not existing forever if there is some complaint then articles are removed and duplicity in research it is not allowed if it is found out even from the assessment forms they are removed when we apply somewhere, when we apply for our promotions, test forms, etc., they are not considered. There is your IQAC and then there is one higher panel also, they have to assess the knowledge. Those things are not published. What kind of action they will be taken, but the action is always being taken. Articles on one topic, and one will be very original. I am not showing any difference in directions, in what area I am moving or what kind of data I am taking, they will be considered almost similar. If university committee, they will do that.
Yes, now time to honor and felicitate our invited speaker, Dr. Shiva Kanosia. Best Symposium, Dr. Venus Tegari, kindly present a memento and a souvenir of Dr. Shiva Kanosia to honor. Please give a 10-minute round of applause for invited speaker, Dr. Shiva Kanosia, being honored by our college family. Thank you very much, Dr. Shiva Kanosia, for delivering the invited speaker address and for patiently hearing the questioners and responding to them. Thank you very much. We now move to our very important segment, which is another invited talk by an invited speaker, Dr. Arvind Joshi. Arvind Joshi is a distinguished expert in the field of data science and artificial intelligence. Dr. Joshi currently serves as the Chief Data Scientist and Director at Bridge AI Robotics Private Limited. His professional journey reflects a rare blend of academic excellence and industrial innovation. With vast experience in data science, machine learning, and robotics, he has spearheaded several projects that apply artificial intelligence to solve real-world problems. He's been working towards the novel goal of bridging the divide between academia and university and industry. As Richard Tulata has rightly said, technology will never replace great teachers. Technology in the hands of great teachers is transformation.
जोशी College.
नहीं मैम जा तो रही है मेरे फोन से।
I respect I now invite Dr. Arvind Joshi to deliver the keynote, to deliver the invited lecture.
The workshop, which was earlier situated at the computer lab for students and for faculty here, will now run simultaneously here. You will combine the lecture as well as the workshops in one paucity of time and also due to condition. And we expect all of you to be here with us for some more time. And we don't want any of you to go without lunch and your silence. Thanks for your patience. And I invite Dr. Joshi.
Thank you, Dr. Tiwari. I know that this is the time for lunch. Your mind pattern is going for lunch. Your mind pattern is now tired. Changing your mind pattern. Saying to you, good morning to all of you. Say good morning. Yeah, that is large language model. Now we will do the practical part of it. You are asking about the parallelism. What is that? And you have also asked about the paraphrasing part. So I am starting in a, I'm not going through my slide part, which I have prepared. Right now, the students are here, faculties are here. So what I want to tell them is the scope of artificial intelligence in their day-to-day life as well as for their career. That part is important, right? Yes, you can also understand. So, first of all, this is very much necessary. I have a topic that revolutionizing academia through large language models. So first we have to understand large language models, right? Then we will come up to research. The most of the part has been told by ma'am, previous speaker, about how to do research and the rules of the research. What are the rules of UGC and how you're going to catch with all these things? How the AI is doing. So there is, for paraphrasing or rephrasing, I have a single-handed answer, that is Quillbot. Quillbot will catch, right? It is an AI tool. If you will paraphrase and go, I will show you. Just I will show you in my demo. If you will paraphrase or rephrase the article or the sentence, Quillbot will catch it, right? If you have taken the help of LLM in writing your thesis, Quillbot is a software, it will catch, it will tell the AI content. Right? So the time is very rare. Otherwise, I would have to do some kind of practical writing a thesis over here and then telling to you that how the Quillbot is say catching your rephrasing and telling you that grammatical mistakes in your article. All these things are possible because is a soft, right? Whatever you will do, you get caught. And this is AI. This is AI. So, first of all, respected principal sir, Dr. Uday Pratap Singh sir, distinguished speakers, Sir John Charles Damory, Dr. Shiva Kandozia, Symposium convener, my dear friend Dr. Neeraj Tiwari sir. The incredible organizing team, Dr. Chetna Mishra, Dr. Jaya Singh, Neha Gupta, Mr. Saurabh Singh, Jiten Singh, Puna Jain, Mr. Deepa Sodhi, Ms. Mamta Rani, Mr. Rishabh Jain. Thanks to all of you. You are conducting this seminar in a better way. And I would say it is just like an international seminar, not national symposium. Okay, it's a great thing that in this city, in this degree college, you are conducting such a fine, and you have fine-tuned this this organizing team has fine-tuned this symposium. It's great. So I will also give you thanks to advisory committee, faculty members, brilliant idea which are coming over here and the questions which you are asking. Right? So a very warm and enthusiastic good morning to all of you. I want to change your LLM. Your brain is an LLM. Large language model is nothing more than that of your brain. Right? So it is both an honor and a thrill to be here today at this National Symposium to explore a topic that is reshaping our world. That is exploring the world of artificial intelligence in academics. Before telling you about large language model, I want to tell you about myself. Right? I was a government secretary and I resigned from that job 5 years ago. Right? It is because of this element. It is because of this artificial intelligence power. Right? So, before we dive into the fascinating world of LLM, if you will allow me, I would like to briefly introduce myself. And I think because I will do the practical part out of the theoretical part which has been done previously. I will do the practical part, and I think that you will enjoy it. And you will understand the LLM, and the students who are sitting over here, they will understand the things, and they will beautifully understand the thing, and they will apply it for their career path. Right? So, I am the director and founder of VizAI Robotics Private Limited, as has been told to you. What makes our endeavor unique is the foundation in youthful innovation. Our institute CEO and founder is a remarkable, talented 16-year-old boy, Parth Sarthi. He's 16-year-old and he has founded this company, VizAI Robotics, and I'm working under him as chief data scientist. Right? So you can also do the innovation, and it is because of this large language model which is running in your mind. It is nothing more than that of your brain. Brain is a large language model. And what is large in it, and what is language in it, and how this large language model is framed, that I am going to tell you. And to students, I am saying that it will give a new insight to you, as well as you can make your career through LLMs, right? And to researchers, I want to say that your research curve will be shortened if you will use large language models, right? So now coming over an instance. I have a question to all of you. Imagine you are studying late at night for an examination, right? You hit a wall with a complex concept. Your teacher is unavailable, your friends are asleep, and the books are not helping you, right? This is the question. So, what will happen? And this has happened. You have got your LLM. But you don't know what is large language model. A question was from this side to Dr. Charles that which one is a better large language model? Every model is better. Every model is best, right? So I am telling you, we have DeepSeek, we have Grok, we have ChatGPT, we have Copilot, Perplexity, Gemini, and many more large language models. These large language models are similar to your brain, right? They are just your professors, they are just your teacher, they are just your gurus. You have got all the information in it. What happened actually, when you are born with an algorithm called as brain, where there were a system has been made where to memorize, where to put up the language, where to this and where to that. I'm not a biology student, not a medicine student. Everything is over here. So this is an algorithm. Your mother, your father, society, teachers, they taught you, they gave you the data. They gave you the data differently, right? And this giving the data is called training the model. Our algorithm has been trained. Now my name is Arvind. I am a Arvind model, right? I'm Arvind model because this
algorithm has been changed. And this is a large language model. How? I have read so many books. I have seen so many websites. I'm saying to you, you are a data for me, right? All these are attaching over here, right? And that is the information which is with me is, is through this model called brain, and this brain is also a large language model. It's in a very simple terms. Don't think that why we are talking about LLM. LLM is a very simple, brain is an LLM. Now, we are conceptualizing this large language model in an artificial way, right? In the form of machine. And to conceptualize it in the form of machine, what we have to do, we have to develop a language because machine cannot understand natural languages, right? It cannot understand Hindi, cannot English, cannot French or uh, Japanese or Chinese, right? So we have to develop a language called Python, called R, called SQL, called C++, and many more. It is to learn the machine, to learn the algorithm which we have made, right? And we have trained that model to make it how we have trained. We have trained it through, we have millions of books we have put in it. To put something inside a model, inside an algorithm is called training the algorithm. Mean it will become a model. You make it a brilliant model, you have to give it millions of books, every website available in the world, countless articles in hundreds of languages, right? And that large language model is trained, is trained through this your natural languages, and it is called natural language processing, right? So you will do by the help of this brain, by the help of this algorithm, natural languages, Chinese, Japanese, or whatever be the language, or Hindi or English, they are getting, you are getting the data from it and processing it, and you are attaching it to this model. And that model is becoming a large language model, mean having billions of data, right? And now the things are, if I will talk about the research, if I will talk about for the students, for the researchers, for the faculty members, I will have so many examples. So LLM is like this. You have an LLM, you can use ChatGPT. I am saying large language model, that is ChatGPT, that is Grok, that is DeepSeek, all are free, right? It depends upon you. If you want a pro model of it, you can use the pro model. It takes 2,000 rupees per month or whatever be it. Okay. First, you have to use Grok. You must have in your laptop Grok. You must have DeepSeek. You must have ChatGPT. You must have another one is Gemini, right? And Perplexity. So many are models, and they all are perfect, right? And DeepSeek is advanced model, right? So test it out. I'm going to test here how the research will be done, how it is going to give the answer of my questions. Somebody has told you about the prompts. I think Dr. Charles have told you about the prompts. There is a word prompt engineering. Chauhan sir met me and he asked me how I am going to use this LLM in my day-to-day study part teaching students. All the teachers are domain expert, right? If you are a domain expert, you can put better prompts, better question, better, say, you can ask more better things in it. And if you will just, I'm going for the chat GPT part, it has a doctor, it is economist, say political scientist, and every kind of GPT is there. GPT is generalized, say, GPT is something transformer. I'm just getting some blank in it. So generalized, it is a transformer, right? GPT is a transformer which transform your things, right? So if there are many GPTs, more than 200 GPTs are in chat GPT. In free model, you can also use for a particular time, say 15 or 20 minutes, right? There is no problem. You use them. If you are a psychologist, you can use it as a psychologist. Psychology GPT is there. If you are a political science student or a teacher, there is a GPT. In the same GPT is political science GPT. If you have a book, let me say, I'm being a science student, let me say I have a book of physics, right? I will upload its PDF copy there, right? And can ask questions to the GPT, right? I can ask generalized pre-trained transformer, right? It is a generalized pre-trained transformer. It is a pre-trained. You are training it through your website, through your data, through whatever be it. You just have to open the physics GPT and then put your data in it in the form of PDF. Then ask him to ask me questions, right? It will ask you questions on physics. If you have some kind of problem, then you type there the problem. And it is better for all those students and the teachers. I am saying to you, if you use first, you use ChatGPT. It is a very advanced model. If you are asking some question, and if you want that the answer should be very easy, you write it. I am a fifth class student, want to ask you such and such thing. It will give you great narrative. It will give you an story, right? And the things will be come up in the form of story writing, right? So how you are going to use the chat GPT, it depends upon you. Your research, what happens actually now, BTech is 4 years. Okay, BA is 3 years, BSc is of 3 years. But if you are using chat GPT or any LLM, your learning curve will reduce. It will shorten. This 3 year will become for say 6 months by using LLM. I will show you. And I am showing to you all the practical applicability of the large language model. So my presentation was not on a fit. This time I am telling to you why we all are vying for going for artificial intelligence. Right? The answer is this. If you can see this part of my PPT, I'm not seeing it here. I'm coming there. So see, this is a report of NESCOM. NESCOM is an organization, government of India, right? So go through that organization. Here is a report of NESCOM, NASSCOM. We say to you about the gaps in artificial intelligence, right? If you are, I will say that to the researchers, to the students, to those who want to build career in AI, either they are of humanities, commerce, science, medicine, whatever be their stream, they can learn AI and can give boost to their career. The position is this. Oh, I don't think that visible. आप लोग को दिखाई दे रहा है? See, this is United States, I think, right? 71%. They require 71% people. They have only 30 trained people in artificial intelligence. You doesn't need a BTech CS degree for artificial intelligence. This I am saying to you. Because I have a skill-based institution where 11th class pass students are there, 12th pass students are in Google. Nobody is asking for the qualification, but I will not say do the things if you want to become a grazer, become a grazer. But from the day one, you try to study all these things. You try to study artificial intelligence. You will embolden your career. The teacher, the student, all will get
good insights of large language model. Now, मैं ये भी कहूँगा किताबों का जमाना चला, right? You have all the books in the large language, all the books. You name it, and you will see here, right? You check it, ask it, and if not, if there is no book here, and you have got the PDF, you upload that, right? And you make your own chat GPT. There is a process. It is not a very technical process, right? There is a, I will show you, and I have read my 4-5 chat GPTs of statistical learning, right? You can make your own chat GPT, you put your own book there and ask questions, make papers, right? Even what you can do that for the teachers, you have so many copies, so you are taking a test. Okay, you put all the PDF of these test copies in ChatGPT, it will give the marks, right? आपका जो burden है ना वो बहुत कम होगा अगर आप LLM का प्रॉपर यूज करते हैं बहुत बड़ी टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं इट इज यूजर फ्रेंडली इट इज नॉट लाइक दिस कि आप ये सोचें कि इसको समझने में बहुत समय लगेगा किसी को साइंस का स्टूडेंट होना चाहिए नो इट इज यूजर फ्रेंडली जैसे कि आपका मोबाइल बिल्कुल LLM के साथ ऐसे मत जाइए हाँ लार्ज लैंग्वेज मॉडल नॉट LLM के बाद का LLM right it is large language model अब large language model को rather than understanding the large language model I have told you कि आपका जो brain है that is a large language model क्योंकि आपने जो पढ़ा होता है उसका आप आंसर देते हैं अब इससे पहले क्या होता था हमारे जमाने में या आपके जमाने में अभी भी इंडिया में तो वैसा ही हुआ कि आपने अगर बहुत अधिक पढ़ा है अगर आपने बहुत अधिक पढ़ा है तो आपका उस पढ़ाई का टेस्ट होगा रोड मेमोरी चलती है कि अगर मैंने खूब पढ़ा मैंने अभी हाल में ही एक एग्जामिनेशन दिलाया था अपने बेटे को हु इज द सीईओ इन दिस कंपनी ही टोल्ड मी कि मैं 10th के बाद कुछ नहीं पढ़ा मैं 12th नहीं पढ़ा ही इज अ गुड स्कॉलर ये सिर्फ ठीक है मत पढ़ो ही टोल्ड मी कि अगर मैं कैसे रोबोटिक्स साइंस पढ़ूंगा सेल्फ स्टडी रोबोटिक्स की सेल्फ स्टडी right? So his doing self-study. 2026 he will start a robotic manufacturing company in a very small city called Haldwani. And it is because of our self-study. It is because of the large language model. He is not a very talented guy. Simply he knows how to run an LLM or ChatGPT or Grok and all these things. Right? You have only to do this. You can also do. डोंट गो फॉर दैट पार्ट की ये जो चैट जीपीटी है साइंस वाला की करेगा तो मेरा कहना है आपने आप जैसे टीचर्स हैं टीचर्स के पास क्वेश्चन पेपर आता है आप उसमें क्वेश्चन पेपर डाल दीजिए राइट एंड गेट आंसर आप उससे क्वेश्चन पेपर बनवाइए शॉर्ट टाइम में क्यों आप लगे हुए हैं आप प्रॉम्प्ट बहुत अच्छा डालेंगे आप उसमें अपने रूल्स लिखिए कि क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 को आप 5 मार्क्स देंगे सेक्शन ए में 3 क्वेश्चन बनाइए सेक्शन बी में 8 क्वेश्चन बनाइए और टोटल जो मेरा ग्राफ वाला पार्ट है उसको 3 नंबर दीजिए इसको इतना नंबर दीजिए राइट कर रहे हैं थिंग्स देयर और आपके सामने पेपर बन के आ जाएगा अगर उसमें कोई कमी रहे मान लीजिए क्वेश्चन नंबर 5 उसने किसी और जगह से दे दिया इसे क्या कहते हैं जो मैडम बातचीत कर रही थी हेलुसिनेशन का मतलब कभी कभी गलत भी चैट जीपीटी के नीचे लिखा रहता है चैट जीपीटी कैन मेक मिस्टेक कोई बात नहीं मिस्टेक कर दी आप फिर से दोबारा चैट जीपीटी से कहा कि क्वेश्चन नंबर 5 आपने आउट ऑफ सिलेबस दे दी राइट वो आपको सिलेबस के अंदर दे देगा स्टूडेंट्स के लिए क्या है अगर आपको तैयारी करनी है खुद के पेपर क्रिएट करो खुद ही पेपर क्रिएट करो अपने लर्निंग के सर्किल को आप कम कर लीजिए सीधी बात है नथिंग लाइक दैट कुछ भी नहीं है ऐसा मैं अभी प्रिंसिपल सर को दिखा रहा था इन सब चीजों का डेमो आप किस तरीके से एक बेहतर टीचर बन सकते हो अब आपको रूट लर्निंग वाला टीचर अपने स्टूडेंट्स को नहीं करना है दैट इज मिस्टेक योर पर्सन बिफोर दैट जिन टीचर से हमने पढ़ा जिन टीचर से आपने पढ़ा और जिनको आप पढ़ा उनके लिए टीचर एक सेज है साधु राइट ही इज अ साधु हु हैज द नॉलेज लिव इट नाउ यू आर अ मॉडरेटर लाइक मी you are a moderator if you will ask me a question on medical science if you will ask me a question on political science I can answer. So I am not in a domain of political science and medical field, right? Even then I do because they have the books, and the book is name is large language model, right? But what I have to do, I have to give a proper prompt. If I am not able to give proper prompt, you can write, tell me the proper prompt for this subject. Right? Tell me the proper prompt. And it will tell you the proper prompt. That is prompt engineering. So LLM, you have not to think about it कि ये पता नहीं क्या होगा. ये पता नहीं साइंस वाले को ही आएगा. सबसे बड़ी समस्या हमारी ह्यूमैनिटीज की क्लास को है कि साइंस वाले की ही समझ आएगा. बिल्कुल नहीं. मेरे पास तो क्लास 4 का स्टूडेंट है एंड आई एम एट द एज ऑफ 60 दिस टाइम और मैंने 55 की एज में इन सब चीजों को पढ़ना शुरू किया और एक क्लास 4 के बच्चे ने किया और ही हैज बिकम आईबीएम सेक्टर साइंटिस्ट पर करियर ही इज अ डेटा साइंटिस्ट नाउ ही इज गोइंग टू बिकम अ रोबोटिक इंजीनियर घर बैठकर होगा ही इज नॉट टेकिंग आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि उसकी कोई कोचिंग हो रही है घर बैठकर इतनी ज्यादा इंफॉर्मेशन लार्ज लैंग्वेज मॉडल्स के अंदर है राइट. तो आप उसका फायदा उठाइए एज अ टीचर, आप उसका फायदा उठाइए एज अ स्टूडेंट. और आप जो स्टूडेंट हैं जिन्हें ऐसा लगता है कि बीए करने, बीएससी करने, एमएससी करने या एमए करने या पीएचडी करने के बाद नौकरियां नहीं, इस फील्ड में इतनी नौकरी है आपके पास, इतनी ज्यादा नौकरी है आपके पास कि आप थक जाएंगे. आपको इतने ज्यादा कॉल आएंगे, आप किसी भी फील्ड के हों राइट. आप आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस को समझिए कि आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस क्या है. आपके खुद के सब्जेक्ट को बूस्ट देगा आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस. व्हाट इज आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस? नथिंग मोर देन दैट ऑफ ह्यूमन इंटेलिजेंस. अभी मैम ने बात कर रही थी, एक वर्ड आ रहा था ह्यूमनाइज करना. दीज आर द चार्टर्स ह्यूमनाइज करना. ठीक है ना. आपने क्या किया, एलएलएम से अपनी पूरी रिसर्च करवा. इसके बाद एक सॉफ्टवेयर का नाम है क्विलबॉट. मैं रिसर्चर्स को होता है. हो सकता है मैं कहीं इधर और उधर से बातचीत कर रहा हूं क्योंकि मैं अपने जो मेरा टॉपिक है उससे वो जो बना कर रहा है टॉपिक था, मुझे लगा कि आप सबको नींद आ जाएगी तो मैंने अपने बने हुए टॉपिक पर आपसे बिल्कुल बातचीत नहीं करा. मैं उससे बाहर निकल के बात कर रहा हूँ. सबसे बड़ी समस्या है रोजगार. सबसे बड़ी बच्चों की समस्या है रोजगार. अगर लार्ज लैंग्वेज मॉडल्स का बेहतर इस्तेमाल करना सीखने तो ये तय बात है कि वो रोजगार की कोई कमी नहीं. इतनी मॉडल मेरे पास 75 स्टूडेंट्स राइट. अब आप जैसे मान लीजिए बीबीए कर रहे थे, आपके बीबीए की आज वैल्यू नहीं है. आपको तो स्टेप बीबीए करना होगा, उसमें एआई ऐड ऑन करना पड़ेगा. किसी इसमें को पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं. आप खुद ही करिए. आप देखिए ना यूट्यूब में सब कुछ दिया होगा. ठीक है. आप उसी जो मॉडल आप चैट जीपीटी लोगे, चलिए आपको थोड़ा डीप सी कहने में बड़ा कठिन सा लग रहा हो, चैट जीपीटी डेली सुनते होते हैं आप चैट जीपीटी को लेकर अपनी जो भी नॉलेज है उससे पूछिए, अपनी नॉलेज को शार्पन कर दो. एक प्रिंसिपल कहलाता है फर्स्ट प्रिंसिपल. फर्स्ट प्रिंसिपल में क्या होता है, अगर आप किसी चीज के पीछे पड़ गए तो जाते रहिए, अंदर पूछते रहिए. सिंपल से सिंपल चीज. पहले तो मैं यही कहता हूँ हर स्टूडेंट से और आप सबसे कहूंगा कि कोई भी क्वेश्चन पूछिए उससे ये पूछिए कि आई एम क्लास स्टूडेंट. मैं कक्षा और इंजीनियर की मैं कक्षा 5 में पढ़ता हूँ. मेरे कक्षा 5 के दिमाग के हिसाब से मेरे क्वेश्चन का आंसर इतनी बेहतरीन स्टडी बनकर आएगी तो लगा वाह मजा आ गया. टीचर्स को लगा आज हम स्टूडेंट्स को इस तरीके से चीजें पढ़ाए राइट. अगर आपको कोई लेक्चर देने आप उससे बनवाइए ना लेक्चर. क्यों आप अपना दिमाग लगा रहे हैं? वाई पहले के जमाने में हम बैठ के किताबें पढ़ रहे थे, हम उससे सॉल्यूशन लेने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. अभी आपको लग रहा होगा कि मैं अनएथिकल बात करूं. ये एथिकल बातचीत है. इवन आप अपनी रिसर्च भी पूरी की पूरी लार्ज लैंग्वेज मॉडल से कर सकते हैं. चाइना की यूनिवर्सिटी है, चाइना मेडिकल यूनिवर्सिटी. मेरी बेटी वहां मेडिकल साइंस की स्टूडेंट की अभी पूरा हुआ है. उससे कम से कम हमें 10 पेपर पब्लिश होते हैं. वो भी छोटे मोटे नहीं, फॉर्मेट में पब्लिश होते हैं. आई एम नॉट मैं कोई इस तरीके का नहीं हूँ कि मैं कोई मेडिकल साइंस का स्टूडेंट हूँ. आई गाइडेड, मैंने उसे गाइड किया. देखिए एक मैंने आपको सॉफ्टवेयर बताया था क्विलबॉट. सभी रिसर्चर्स को जानना चाहिए और रिसर्चर्स को उसे खरीद लेना चाहिए. ठीक है ना. 1200 या 1300 रुपये पर मंथ. अब आपने क्या किया, आपने एलएलएम से पूरी रिसर्च निकाली, उसके बाद उस रिसर्च को क्विलबॉट में डाला. बहुत आसान काम है डालना. आपने केवल क्या किया, जो भी सेंटेंसेस हैं उनको उनको आपने इंटरलाइन कर लिया, उसको उठा के फुल बॉक्स में डाल दिया. अपने आप चल जाता है, कहीं कुछ आपको कष्ट नहीं करना है. तो बता देगा कि कितना एआई कंटेंट शुरू में 100%. फिर आपने उसकी पैराफ्रेजिंग की. अब आप सोच रहे होंगे कि अगर हम पैराफ्रेजिंग कर लेंगे एआई कंटेंट रह जाएगा.
अब पैराफ्रेजिंग क्या कहलाती है? इसका मतलब ये है कि जो मेरे पास एआई का लिखा हुआ है। अच्छा, वैसे तो अगर आप खुद ही एलएलएम के लिखे हुए कंटेंट को पढ़ेंगे तो आपको अंदाजा लग जाएगा बहुत ही डायरेक्ट लैंग्वेज में बात करें, कि ह्यूमन की लैंग्वेज में बात नहीं करें। तो पहले तो खुद ही आप चेंज कर लीजिए, क्योंकि आप रिसर्चर हैं या कुछ नहीं भी हैं, इवन देन आपको अंदाजा देगा कि इसकी लैंग्वेज थोड़ा शार्प हो रही है, बहुत ही डायरेक्ट टॉकिंग कर रहा है। इसको एक विजुअलाइज कर उसके बाद डाल दीजिए, एआई का कंटेंट बन जाएगा। उसके बाद उसमें रीफ्रेजिंग का एक बटन है, उसको दबा दीजिए, तो उसको रीफ्रेज कर देगा। राइट, फिर आपने कुछ अपने मन से, फिर आपने उसको दिया, दिमाग तो आपका लगेगा ही लगेगा, कोई अनएथिकल नहीं है। आप फिर उसको वर्ड की फाइल में लगाओ, फिर सेंटेंसेस को ठीक कर दीजिए, और फिर एआई नहीं चाहिए, अब बताएगा 50% बचा हुआ है। देन कहां पर आपने क्या, वो ऐसा नहीं बताता कि 50% आपका एआई का कंटेंट है, वो उनको अंडरलाइन भी करता है, हाईलाइट करता है कि इन इन जगहों पर आपका एआई का कंटेंट है, इतनी इन इन पैराग्राफ्स। आपने उन पैराग्राफ्स को पढ़ा, 2 बार पढ़ा, 3 बार पढ़ा, समझने की कोशिश की, और अगर नहीं आया तो उसी को आपने कॉपी किया, पेस्ट कर दिया चैट जीपीटी में। उससे कहा मैं आया क्लास में, स्टूडेंट मेरे को बताओ इसमें क्या हो, व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, और चैट जीपीटी आपको बताएगा किस पैराग्राफ का मीनिंग ये आपको समझ में आए। अब आप उसको अपनी मन से, अपनी लैंग्वेज में रिप्लेस करिए। थिंग्स आर वेरी सिंपल, ये बहुत कठिन काम नहीं है। लेकिन समस्या मेरे साथ भी है कि आपके पास समय की कमी है, 2:30 बज गए हैं, अब आप, और मैं थोड़ा सा प्रैक्टिकल करके दिखाता हूँ इन सब चीजें। राइट, एक बात और बता देना चाहता हूँ, मैं चाहता हूँ आज मैं आपकी जनरल स्टडी को पूरी कराई दूं, जिससे आप डरना बंद करो। बिल्कुल डरने की जरूरत, ये मुझे भी बहुत कुछ नहीं दिखाई। देखिए, सीक्वेंशियल स्टेजेस ऑफ इंटेलिजेंस। आप पैदा हो, खाली दिमाग से पैदा हो, लेकिन दिमाग के अंदर पैटर्न बदल हो। आप पैदा होते हैं और सबसे पहले चिल्लाते हैं, ये धोखा चला गया आपको, ये पैटर्न आपके दिमाग में चला गया। यहाँ तक कि अगर आपने पैटर्न कैसे जाता है समझ लिया, तो आप अपनी बुरी आदतों से छुटकारा पा सकते हैं। सच अ ग्रेट थिंग इज यू ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड योर माइंड। राइट, तो अब आपको कोई नई हैबिट पैदा करनी है, दैट इज एवरीथिंग। आप नई हैबिट भी पैदा कर सकते हैं, इट इज लाइक दिस। यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? अब मैं क्या कहना चाह रहा हूँ, मैं ये बता रहा हूँ कि कैसे डेटा का डेवलपमेंट होता है, इंटेलिजेंसिया का डेवलपमेंट होता है। देखिए, सबसे पहली स्टेज है प्री इंटेलिजेंस स्टेज। प्री इंटेलिजेंस स्टेज में क्या है? मशीन लर्निंग, डीप लर्निंग एंड रीइंफोर्समेंट लर्निंग। लर्निंग इज लिमिटेड टू ह्यूमन प्रोवाइडेड डेटा एल्गोरिथम। ह्यूमन ने जो एल्गोरिथम को डेटा प्रोवाइड किया उतना ही उत्तर आएगा, इससे बाकी प्रश्न का वो उत्तर नहीं मिलता। दिस पार्ट इज प्री इंटेलिजेंस स्टेज। इसके बाद नींद तो बोली होगी मेरा ख्याल। आज तो फिर मैंने तो वैसे भी जो है वो दर्ज करना नहीं है, सर को बता रहे थे सब कुछ ऑनलाइन नहीं दर्ज करना, आप लोगों को नहीं होगा। सो देन देयर इज नैरो और वीक एआई। फर्स्ट इज प्री इंटेलिजेंस स्टेज, ये कितना हमें जान लेना चाहिए अपनी जनरल स्टडीज को। पहले प्री इंटेलिजेंस की स्टेज है जिसमें हम मशीन लर्निंग, डीप लर्निंग, रीइंफोर्समेंट लर्निंग का एग्जांपल है। मतलब लर्निंग लिमिटेड है, ह्यूमन ने जो उसको बता दिया वो काम करने लग जाएगा। राइट, देन स्टेज आती है नैरो एआई। आप सोच रहे होंगे चैट जीपीटी बहुत बड़ी चीज है, मैं आपसे कह रहा हूँ उसे वीक एआई कहते हैं। वीक एआई अभी दिसंबर में आप देखेंगे, ऐसा लग रहा है जैसा हम किसी जर्नल्स में पढ़ते हैं क्योंकि हम उसके टच में रहते हैं। दिसंबर में चैट जीपीटी के नीचे लिखा हुआ है चैट जीपीटी कैन नॉट डू एनी मिस्टेक। आप ही देख रहे हैं, अभी तो लिखता है वो कैन मेक मिस्टेक, लेकिन कोई मिस्टेक नहीं हुआ, 100% वो एकदम सही। ठीक है, और उसका ये बटन भी आएगा, मैं अभी उसमें एक ह्यूमनाइज करके डालेगा, वो भी है तो सेंटेंस आपके अकॉर्डिंग भी लिख देगा, लगेगा कि जैसे ह्यूमन ने ही लिखा। ये बटन भी चैट जीपीटी कर रहा है। एक एक ऐसा बटन भी आएगा, बहुत बड़ी पैरेललिज्म में जहां तक बात की जा रही है, बहुत बड़ी क्रांति है, पकड़ना मुश्किल हो है। राइट, आपको हो सकता है अगर आपने सोचा कि अगर कवि तो नहीं हूँ लेकिन कविता का नोबेल प्राइज मिल जाए, हो सकता है नहीं जाए। स्थितियां इतनी आगे बढ़ चुकी यहाँ पर एथिक्स की बातचीत इतना आगे बढ़ चुकी है कि आप एक बहुत बेहतर, अभी तो बुक आप लिख सकते हैं आराम से। आप किसी भी बुक को लिख सकते हैं, स्टूडेंट लिख सकते हैं। स्टूडेंट को पॉलिटिकल साइंस का मान लो पी निकालना है तो पॉलिटिकल साइंस का मेन काम वो कर सकते, राइट। सो नैरो एआई कौन है? चैट जीपीटी। अभी तो मैंने आपको ये नहीं बताया आर्टिफिशियल जनरल इंटेलिजेंस, अब इस पर बात होने लगी है। आर्टिफिशियल जनरल इंटेलिजेंस पर इसमें क्या है कि ए रोबोट दैट कैन लर्न एनी प्रोफेशन लाइक अ ह्यूमन। जैसे हम हर चीज को पढ़ लेते हैं वैसे ही ये यहाँ पर आने वाला मामला मैं आपको दिसंबर में दिखाऊंगा। हम किसी भी सब्जेक्ट को, किसी को भी चीजों को लर्न करना सीखता है, तुरंत हमारी समझ में चीजें आने लग जाती हैं। यहाँ पर की स्टेज शुरू होगा और इसके बाद की अगली स्टेज है रिकर्सिव सेल्फ इम्प्रूवमेंट और एएसआई फिगर या सिंगुलैरिटी वर्ड याद रखिए। सिंगुलैरिटी की स्टेज में क्या होगा? उस स्टेज में तो बड़ा खतरनाक काम होने वाला। आपने मान लीजिए एक रोबोट लगाया पोछा लगाने के लिए और वो आपका खाना भी बनाता है, मेड सर्वेंट वाला रोबोट है आप। तो कभी कभी आपकी मेड जबरदस्ती बहाना भी करती है ना, जो कभी ये भी कहते हैं भाई आज आपको आप बहुत काम कराते हैं, आपके यहाँ 10 मेहमान आ गए, आपने 10 मेहमान के बाद इंसाफ करवा दी, वापस और पैसा देखो ही देंगे आप, ये नहीं चलेगा। ये काम रोबोट कर, आपने उससे कहा चल भाई झाड़ू लगा, यहाँ पर ठीक से लगा, पता लगा आप ही की धुलाई की और छत से नीचे बन गई। दैट इज सिंगुलरिटी। गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? ये अभी नहीं आया है, ये आ जाएगा। आप ये तो सोचेगा कि ये नहीं आएगा, यहीं पर बातचीत चल रही है गवर्नमेंट की। हमारे युवा को, मैं ये तो नहीं कहूंगा कुछ नहीं कर रहा, हमारे युवाओं को इस पर काम करना है, राइट। हम सबसे युवा देश है दुनिया में, सबसे अधिक, और चीन सबसे बूढ़ा देश। आज डालिए रोबोटिक्स में वर्ल्ड में जितना भी काम हो रहा है, जितनी भी कॉन्फ्रेंसेस हो रही हैं, सब कुछ चाइना में हो रहा है। हमारे कंट्री में, हमारे पास तो अपना एक लार्ज लैंग्वेज मॉडल है। इसी कारण आप चैट जीपीटी पर डिपेंड है। इसलिए अगर आप उससे कहेंगे क्लास में मैं पढ़ता हूँ तो वो अमेरिका का एग्जाम्पल देगा, वो कहानियां जो आपके यहाँ नहीं है उन कहानियों को देता है। वो गेम भी वही वाले देता है, आपके गुल्ली डंडा तो नहीं देता, क्योंकि गुल्ली डंडा आपके एलएलएम ऐसे बने ही नहीं है, आपने एलएलएम बनाया नहीं, ठीक है ना। हम रिसर्च में बहुत पीछे हुए थे, जो हमारे पास है उसी पर काम करते हैं, आप जो यूज करते हैं कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, करते हैं। लेकिन समझिएगा सिंगुलैरिटी, सिंगुलैरिटी में क्या होगा? अभी क्या होता है कि आप उसमें, आपने उसमें प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज के कोड डाले, अभी तो ये हो रहा है, वो अपनी कोडिंग खुद करेगा। अभी सैम ऑल्टमैन जो है उन्होंने ये कहा ओपन एआई वाले कि बाद में क्या होगा, रोबोट अपनी खुद की लैंग्वेज डेवलप करेगा। दो रोबोट आपस में बातचीत कर रहे हैं, इसको उठा के फेंक दो तो पकड़ के उठा के फेंक दो, आपकी समझ में लैंग्वेज नहीं आ रही। आप कहेंगे जैसे मान लो चाइनीज है या फ्रेंच है, ठीक है ना, हमारी समझ में तो आनी नहीं है, दूसरा लोग बातचीत कर रहे थे तो बातचीत में ये हुआ कि भाई सारे ऑडियंस को उठा के फेंक दो, राइट। सो यू आर गेटिंग माय पॉइंट। सिंगुलैरिटी, सिंगुलैरिटी की जिस दिन पोजीशन आ जाएगी उस दिन वो आपके इक्विवेलेंट। चैट जीपीटी का भी आईक्यू लेवल 150 है, आपसे ज्यादा है। आप ऐसे कह दे रहे हैं कि चैट जीपीटी से होगा ही नहीं, जिनके पास जाओ, खासकर मैं टीचर्स के स्टूडेंट के पास जाता हूँ, नहीं वो तो गलत दे देता है, या टीचर्स का ये कहना होता है बड़ा अनएथिकल है। नो, इट इज नॉट अनएथिकल। मैं टीचर से कहूंगा चैट जीपीटी खोलकर पढ़ाई, राइट। आपकी क्लास में चैट जीपीटी खुला होना चाहिए। आपने बच्चे से कहा तुम क्वेश्चन करो और ये क्वेश्चन करो, नाउ दिस इज द क्वेश्चन और दिस इज आंसर दो। आप मोटिवेटर है रादर देन रटन। जो ये रटने की विद्या है इसको किनारे कर, आप समझ, क्योंकि ये जमाना चला गया। हमारे यहाँ तो हर जमाना बहुत लेट आता है, तब तक कुछ नया हो रहा है, क्योंकि वी आर नॉट अ गुड रिसर्चर। यू आर सीइंग दैट कि हमारे यहाँ कितने पीएचडी होते हैं, नोबेल लॉरेट एक भी नहीं। How the people are doing that thing? Why you are not using LLM? Why you are not rephrasing the things by your own way? जब LLM आपको सारी किताबों की सुविधा दे रहा है, हर समय आपके आपके मोबाइल में चैट जीपीटी डाउनलोड होना चाहिए। रटने का काम छोड़ दी, ये नहीं कहा मैंने पढ़ने का काम छोड़ दी, रटने का काम छोड़ दी। पढ़िए, कॉन्सेप्ट बनाइए, कॉन्सेप्ट कैसे बनाएंगे, उसके अंदर कैसे जाएंगे। आप चैट जीपीटी से लगातार क्वेश्चन करिए, अच्छा ये भी समझ में नहीं आया, मेरे समझ में नहीं आया कि आई गो होगा कि आई गोज होगा, लेट मी से लाइक दिस। आप आपको बताएगा वो, है ना। अदरवाइज आपको ग्रामर की किताब रेफर करनी पड़ेगी कि भाई आई है इसके साथ, किसी के साथ ये लगता है, रट्टा मारो। रट्टा ही तुम्हारा काम। आज आप रट्टा से बिल्कुल बाहर हो चुके, बियॉन्ड दैट लिमिट। लेकिन हमारी जो मानसिकता है, जिस युग में हम चल रहे हैं, हम उसके अकॉर्डिंग बिहेव नहीं कर रहे। हम अपने स्टूडेंट, हमारे स्टूडेंट्स उस तरीके का क्यों नहीं कर रहे? क्योंकि हमारी पढ़ाई ट्रेडिशनल है। अब आप कहेंगे आप हमारी पढ़ाई को ट्रेडिशनल, जी मैं कर रहा हूँ। आपसे मैं 100% कह रहा हूँ, अगर आप मेरे लेक्चर को ध्यान से सुन रहे हैं, सारे स्टूडेंट्स, सारे टीचर्स, सारे रिसर्चर, लार्ज लैंग्वेज मॉडल कुछ भी नहीं है, ये शब्द अभी लगा हुआ है, अरे बहुत चैट जीपीटी का इस्तेमाल करो। और सबसे बेहतर रिसर्च करके मिलता है आपका डीप सी, उसमें एक बटन है डीप लेक, देखते हैं। दिखाना शुरू करूँ तो अब आप भी सोच रहे होंगे कि मैं बहुत बड़ा बड़ा लेक्चर दे रहा हूँ। लेट मी हैव टू शो यू। मैम जरा थोड़ा सा इसकी फिक्सिंग कर दीजिए, कैसे है क्या है। एस्केप। तो मैंने अपनी कोई स्लाइड आपको नहीं दिखाई, क्योंकि मैंने सोचा स्लाइड दिखाऊंगा तो आपको हो जाए। यहाँ पर देखिए ना, ये चाहिए
ये तो
ये
शेयर करूंगा, ये वाला शेयर स्टॉप कर दे। चैट जीपीटी
बहुत से लोग जानते भी होंगे, लेकिन फिर भी मैं यहाँ पर बहुत से लोग जैसे मैं क्वेश्चन सुन रहा था, उनको देखकर मुझे लग रहा था कि अभी आप लोगों ने कई चीजों को छुआ भी नहीं है, और कहीं आपके मन में ये भी भ्रांति आ गई है कि ये अनएथिकल हो, नहीं करना है। आप खुद देख रहे हैं, हम लोगों के टाइम में कैलकुलेटर आया था, आइए मैं तो 6 बार बार कह रहा हूँ, हमारे टाइम में कैलकुलेटर आया था। तो हमारे फादर ने कहा भाई कैलकुलेटर से ये मतलब, वो बाद में हमारे पिताजी कैलकुलेटर यूज करना लगे। आज की स्थिति है, किसी दुकानदार के पास जाइए, 8 रुपए का कुछ लीजिए और 5 रुपए का कुछ लीजिए, उसको भी उससे कहोगे ये 13 रुपया, वो लेता ही नहीं। तो कहते हैं 1 + 5 ऐसी स्थितियां हैं। व्हाई नॉट फॉर द एलिमेंट, क्यों तब उसको आपने अनएथिकल माना? क्यों मान रहे हैं उसे अनएथिकल? इट इज नॉट अनएथिकल, बिल्कुल नहीं है। विदेश की यूनिवर्सिटी में बिल्कुल अनएथिकल नहीं है। और ये भी बता दूं आपको, जहाँ ह्यूमैनिटीज वाले या कॉमर्स वाले या अदर स्टूडेंट्स ये सोचते हैं डेटा साइंस और दिस बीटेक कंप्यूटर साइंस, बिल्कुल गलत बात है। आप विदेशों की यूनिवर्सिटी में जाइए, जाइए मेरी वेबसाइट में जाइए, वो आपको खुद पता लग जाएगा, वहाँ डेटा साइंस अलग डिपार्टमेंट है और कंप्यूटर साइंस अलग डिपार्टमेंट, राइट। मैं लोगों से कह देता हूँ कि मैंने एमएससी फिजिक्स किया, तो लोग कहते हैं जहाँ आप फिजिक्स के स्टूडेंट इसलिए आपको समझ में आ रहा है। अरे भाई किया था 1986 में, आपके डॉक्टर यूनिवर्सिटी वाले को समझ, ठीक है 20 क्लास करो भाई, वो हमने तब किया था ना, अब हमें याद होगा उसकी ना फिजिक्स में लगनी क्या है। आप साइंस के स्टूडेंट, साइंस का स्टूडेंट इज नथिंग होता है। मेरा ये कहना है एलएलएम का जल्दी से जल्दी इस्तेमाल करेंगे, जितनी जल्दी इस्तेमाल करेंगे, लर्न कुछ नहीं, सीखना कुछ ही, देखिए सब कुछ है। ये जीपीटी लिखा हुआ, कितने प्रकार के जीपीटी है ये लिखा हुआ, मुझे देखती हो, मैं यहाँ से देखकर बता सकता हूँ कि कितने प्रकार के जीपीटी ये लिखा हुआ है। अगर आपकी समझ में आता है कि यार ये भी मेरी समझ में नहीं आ रहा, तो ये जो लिखा हुआ है सर्च जीपीटी, आपने डाला साइकोलॉजी, आई वांट टू चेक माय साइकोलॉजी, मुझे साइकोलॉजी का जीपीटी निकाल दो, साइकोलॉजी का जीपीटी आ जाएगा। आपकी लाल लैब से आप अगर कोई बॉडी प्रोडक्ट कराते हैं, वो आपके पास रिपोर्ट आती है, पीडीएफ में आती है, आप इसको अपलोड कर दीजिए जीपीटी, एक जीपीटी खोल के दिखाता देखिए इस जीपीटी में एक प्लस का साइन लगा हुआ है यहाँ पर, ठीक है, ये यहाँ पर प्लस का साइन लगा, इसे क्लिक करिएगा, ठीक है। इसे क्लिक करेंगे 4 या 5 बातें आएंगी, उसमें पहली बात है, उसमें जो पहली बात होगी वो लिखा क्या होगा, इसी के वर्ड्स में बता देते हैं। ये देखिए, ऐड फोटो एंड फाइल्स, ऐड फ्रॉम गूगल ड्राइव, जहां आपकी फाइल रखी है। वैसे आमतौर पर आप डेस्कटॉप में रखते हैं, क्योंकि डरते हैं कि यार पता नहीं कहाँ खो जाएगी। ठीक है, डरिए मत बिल्कुल भी, ये मैंने फाइलें रखी है अपनी डेस्कटॉप, किसी में से किसी लाइक को क्लिक करिए और वो अपलोड हो जाएगी। ठीक है, वो अपलोड हो गई भाई। अब आपने कहा कि मेरी, आपने क्या किया, आप जब रिसर्च करते हैं या किसी किताब को पढ़ रहे हैं, उस किताब को डेस्कटॉप में रख लीजिए, यहाँ अपलोड कर दीजिए। उससे कहिए कि चैप्टर नंबर 1 का 2.1 पॉलिटिकल फिगर्स में जिसमें लिखा हुआ है इसके बारे में मुझे समझाओ। तो पॉलिटिकल साइंस की बात करें, इनैनुअल कांड के बारे में उसको बताओ जो मेरी किताब में लिखा है। वो बिल्कुल वो जो किताब में लिखा है उसको तो समझाएगा ही, उसको इतना इजी बताएगा कि आपको फिल करेगा बहुत आसान। ठीक है, तो ये जो मोटी मोटी किताबें हैं ना उनको यहाँ अपलोड कर लीजिए, हर किताब की पीडीएफ मौजूद है। मैंने सर से कहा था, सर ने कहा कुछ नहीं है, मैंने कहा मैं एक वेबसाइट आपको बता दूंगा, एकदम से मुझे याद नहीं है, मैं वेबसाइट कर दूंगा, सर को कर दूंगा। उसमें हर बुक की हिंदी अंग्रेजी सब हर बुक की वेबसाइट मौजूद है। इंटरेस्टिंग फैक्ट और बताओ, उसको मेरा थोड़ा मामला घरेलू था वो फिर भी बता देता हूँ। अब आपको इंटरेस्ट आ रहा, आजकल श्राद्ध वाला महीना चल रहा है, माता जी दुखी थी कि ये गाजर खा रहे, पिताजी का श्राद्ध होगा। ये डिसाइड हुआ कि 17 तारीख को होगा, पंडित जी ने कहा। अब देखिए चैट जीपीटी से ग्रेट पंडित जी, अच्छा इसमें एक वॉइस का भी होता है यहाँ, ये वॉइस होना है। अब उसमें ये हुआ कि भाई जो एकादशी होती है यार, मैं ये सारी बात आपसे इसलिए कह रहा हूँ आपको विश्वास दिलाएगा। इस दिन जो है केवल व्रत किया जा सकता है, बाकी जो काम होता है उनके डांस वो नहीं हो सकता। मैंने सुने पंडित जी का बोल रहा है, यानी चैट जीपीटी उसने कहा हाँ बिल्कुल सही कहा। माता ने दुर्गा जी की ऐसे मेरी जो डेट कर पानी मैंने तो ये जुगाड़ किया था कि 18 को यहाँ आना है सब वगैरह, ठीक है। लेकिन अब उन्होंने कहा देखो चैट जीपीटी, माता जी चैट जीपीटी भी कह रहा है देख ये चीजें नहीं हो सकती, वो नहीं हो सकती उससे उन्हें आपकी ऑर्डर तक 18 तारीख का। अब मैं आपके डॉक्टर नीरज को देख चुका था वादा, मैंने कहा तो बस गया। मैं तो फिर चैट जीपीटी सीखा कि भाई अगली डेट बता दो, तो उसने कहा भाई 19 और 20 आई वॉज रेडी फॉर 19 और 20 नहीं 18 एंड 19 पूरे, इसलिए मेरा प्रश्न है, मैंने कहा मैं तो खाना चाहूंगा नहीं, आपको भी खाने नहीं। इट इज नॉट एनी राइट। लेकिन मैं बहुत खाली एक उन्हीं सी बात कह रहा हूँ, क्योंकि अभी मैं बहुत जगह उठाऊंगा आपको, आप केवल इतना सीख लीजिए कि प्लस के निशान को क्लिक करिए, इसके जो टॉप में आता है ऐड डॉक्यूमेंट फोटो, उसको क्लिक करिए, वो आपको सीधे उठाने मिल जाएगा डेस्कटॉप। डेस्कटॉप में आपकी किताब रखी है उसको अपलोड कर दीजिए, कोई डेटा रखा है उसको रख लीजिए आपके पास। जब आप, अब मैं रिसर्च पर आ जाऊँ, आपके पास रिसर्च के रेफरेंस रखे रहते हैं तो वो सब की पीडीएफ में एक एक करके यहाँ पर एक करिए 100 की वैसे को फर्क नहीं पड़ता, लेकिन करिए 2 या 4 को यहाँ पर अपलोड कर दिया। अब आपने कहा इसकी समरी बना दो, सबसे कठिन काम समरी बनाना। समरी बनाने के लिए आपको वो जो आर्टिकल्स होते हैं उनको पढ़ना, राइट। आपने कहा समरी बना दो, आपको बढ़िया समरी बना दो, बना दिया। भरोसा मत करिएगा, नीचे लिखा रहता है चैट जीपीटी कैन मेक मिस्टेक। अब उनसे ये कहिए कि तुमने जबरदस्ती कही है, तुमने तो जबरदस्ती कर दी, यू हैव डन अ मिस्टेक, these things are not here. Major nothing Marathi, these articles which I will upload it, at least कोई बात नहीं, वो मेरा अच्छा है नहीं, उन्हें और बना देता हूँ, बना देगा। अब थोड़ा सा और सीख लीजिए, डीप सीख के बाद चाहिए। अब मैं आपको डीप सीख दिखाता हूँ कैसा होता है, उसके बाद एंड कर दूंगा, क्योंकि इतना ज्यादा मैं उठाऊंगा नहीं। ये तो बात हो गई, आपकी समझ में आ गया होगा। और अगर आपने यहाँ पर क्लिक कर दिया तो आप बोल कर इससे कुछ भी प्रश्न पूछ सकते हो। जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, मैंने बोलो आपकी प्रॉब्लम है, उसने दे दी तारीख 18 और 19, ठीक है। फिर पंडित जी को प्रॉब्लम के माता जी से मैंने कहा इसके बाद बहुत सारे पंडित बने हो और ये बात सुन, मैंने पंडित सारे हैं, सारी बातें इसके अंदर लिखी हुई, सब कुछ इसके अंदर है, दुनिया का हर चीज इसके अंदर है, दैट टाइम से, राइट। तो इसके पहले जब शुरू में आया था 2022 दिसंबर के आसपास, तो इसमें लिखा रहता कि इसमें केवल अगस्त 2022 तक की ही इंफॉर्मेशन उनसे लोग मिला। अब तो ऐसा ही नहीं, अब तो लेटेस्ट इंफॉर्मेशन भी इसके अंदर आ रहा है आपको। ये सही सलाम जस्ट प्रिंट और लास्ट तक ये सेंटर रूल्स कहते हैं, ये था नीचे प्रति तो डीप सीक में जाइए, उसमें एक लिखा है डीप एक बटन है डीप थिंक, यहीं पर वहां पर बना हुआ। फिर डीप थिंक को क्लिक कर दिया, उसके बाद तो उससे आप कोई भी काम करा लीजिए, किताबें निपटा लिए, या उससे ये पूछ लीजिए मुझे जॉब अगर देना है कि तो कैसे होगा, ठीक है ना। अभी और एक आपको बात बता दूं, जो मैं ये डेटा देखना था क्योंकि यहाँ से दिख नहीं रहा था। इस समय मैंने आपको बताया इंडिया की 2022 की रिपोर्ट थी, 2023 की नेस्कॉम की रिपोर्ट थी, फरवरी 2023 के बाद कोई रिपोर्ट नहीं बतानी तक 51%। मतलब अगर 100 की डिमांड हो तो 49 लोग ही एआई जानने वाले ये करेंगे। कंपनियों की क्या हो रहा है, ठीक है ना, मतलब जो जानते हैं इतना ही बहुत है, इसका नहीं रहा। 51, अमेरिका में 71% लोग खाली, 30% लोग जानते हैं, राइट। तो एआई ने आज स्थिति क्या है, एक वेबसाइट या देखिएगा कैगल की वेबसाइट में जाइए, अगर आपको कोई रिसर्च डेटा नहीं मिल रहा है तो कैगल की वेबसाइट से निकालो, KAGEL, कैगल। कोई भी डेटा हो, कोई भी मीन कोई, राइट, इंडिया का भी डेटा मौजूद, एवरी काइंड ऑफ डेटा, कोई भी किस्म का डेटा, और डेटा भी आपकी थीसिस को बनाता है, राइट, आपकी रिसर्च को बनाता है। किसी भी किस्म का डेटा चाहिए, किसी भी, इधर मेडिकल साइंस, पॉलिटिकल साइंस, सोसाइटी, कोरोना, सब किस्म का डेटा। आपको मैं ये भी बता दूं, थोड़ा सा शॉर्ट एंड नोट कर रहा हूँ, क्योंकि इंटरेस्ट तो आ रहा होगा थोड़ा थोड़ा, मैं केवल जीके बढ़ा रहा हूँ। देखिए पहले क्या होता था, अगर आपको याद होगा, सबको पता होगा, पोलियो की वैक्सीन बनने में लगभग 10 से 15 साल लगे। इट टुक 10 to 15 years, एक वैक्सीन बनने में 10 से 15 साल लग जाते हैं। इतने ज्यादा प्रोटोकॉल थे वैक्सीन के, ऐसा होना चाहिए, कंट्रोल टेस्ट, दूसरा कंट्रोल, अनकंट्रोल कंडीशन, बहुत लंबी प्रोसेस होती है तब जाके। आपने देखा कोरोना हुआ और 7 महीने बाद वैक्सीन हुई, बिकॉज ऑफ दिस एंड आप उससे ये कहिए, अगर आपको डेटा नहीं मिल रहा है, मैं आपको ये भी मान लो किसी चीज का डेटा नहीं मिल रहा है, आप उससे कहिए किसी चीज का मुझको सिंथेटिक डेटा बना करके, उसने यहाँ पेशेंट ट्राई कर दिए कोरोना। हमारे पास मान लीजिए 100 ही कोरोना के पेशेंट थे जब हम वैक्सीन बना रहे थे, हमने 100 पेशेंट की डिटेल डाली, मेडिकल में डिटेल डाली, उसके बाद 2000 पेशेंट बना दे, सिमिलर टाइप के बना दिए। अब आप उनको ट्रेनिंग को टेस्ट कर रहे हो, वैक्सीन बना दी, इतने कम समय में वैक्सीन क्यों बनी? वैक्सीन इसलिए बनी, लार्ज लैंग्वेज मॉडल, मशीन लर्निंग है, डीप लर्निंग क्या कर रहे हैं, इससे सिंथेटिक डेटा क्रिएट कर रहे हैं। समझ के बात है, तो ये चीजें, दुनिया बहुत बदल गई है, वी हैव टू चेंज आवरसेल्फ। अगर आप नहीं बदले तो फिर स्थितियां क्या होंगी? क्या है, कारवां गुजर गया और देखते ही नहीं गया, कारवां गुजर गया। जैसे आपका रिसर्च के फील्ड में हुआ है, जैसे और फील्ड्स में हुआ है, हमने कुछ किया नहीं। तो मैं तो आपसे निवेदन करूंगा, एआई के फील्ड में काम करिए स्टूडेंट्स एंड रेस्पेक्टेड टीचर्स। अगर आप एआई का मतलब कुछ नहीं है, मैं आपसे लार्ज लैंग्वेज मॉडल्स पर ही कह रहा हूँ, धीरे धीरे आपके कदम बढ़ जाएंगे और आपको भी उसमें संभल, राइट। सो थैंक यू वेरी मच। समय की कमी इसलिए आपके आपकी ज्यादा नहीं है। सर फिजिक्स के प्रोफेसर बढ़ोतरी, मुझे कैसे पता लगा पहले
सर आपने रंगभूमि में जाने के लिए कई चीज बता दी। ये रिसर्चर हम चाहते हैं फिल्म, और तो फिल्म बहुत प्रेजेंटेशन चेक करने वाले तकनीक पैसे वाले हैं, लेकिन हर बच्चे के पास इतना पैसे नहीं है, ये चलाने वाला
तो ये ऐसा है, इमेज चढ़ाने का, देखिए उन्होंने तो बहुत ही ज्ञान अर्जित किया है, लोगों को पैसा बनाएंगे। तो 10 लोग 12 लोग आपस में मिल लीजिए, मुश्किल से वो मिल गया 10 रुपये का, अब 10 लोग आपस में मिल लीजिए 170 रुपये का लिया आपको, ये 100 रुपये में 10 से 20 लोग में हुई थी, है ना। डिपार्टमेंट उनको फ्री करा दे, बहुत सारे लोग नहीं लोग यही करें। क्योंकि देखिए विदेशों में तो क्या है, मैं आपको बताऊं, नॉलेज हो वो बिल्कुल एकदम फ्री है, एक हद तक फ्री रखते हैं, जबकि उन्होंने बेचारों में वर्षों से मेहनत की हुई हो, हम ही नहीं रखते हैं। मैं तो खुद ऐसा करता था जब पढ़ता था बीएससी में, कि दूसरा वाला फर्स्ट ना आ जाए, उससे अपने नोट्स छिपा कर। एक लड़का था हमारे साथ उपाध्याय, मेरे से बहुत ही ब्रिलियंट था, तो फोर्थ पोजीशन होल्डर था यूनिवर्सिटी का, और मैं 7th नंबर में था बीएससी को। मैं रोज सोचता था मैं उस इलाके में रहता जहाँ मलेरिया में बड़ा काशी हो गई। मैं सोचता यार अगर इस वाले को मलेरिया होगा तो बड़ा अच्छा है। बहुत भाई साहब इसको हो गया और मैंने टॉप कर एनीवे तो मेरा कहने नॉलेज के लिए सर आपको पैसा कुछ करना पड़ेगा।
सर उस नॉलेज का भाषण करने के लिए पैसे से इंतजाम करके शेयर करके करीब सीख सकते हैं। उसके अलावा अगर उससे थोड़ा सा इंटीरियर फीलिंग में कोई चलिए
अभी नॉलेज नहीं है ये एक्चुअली मुझे रिसर्च कराना होता है बहुत बार तो मैंने सीधा फॉर्मूला अगर होगा ना आपको अगर फॉर्मूला
तो भी सर आप लोग से बताया कि जरूर होगा किसी को माना है जो सबसे अच्छे बंदूक से मारी है सर ये चलेगा पर्पस से मार
नॉलेज के लिए तो पैसा खर्च करना होगा। वो लोगों ने इतना रिसर्च किया है और हम देखिए चैट जीपीटी ने एकदम फ्री है डीप हाँ देखिए क्या करिए डीप सीक फ्री है ना वो एकदम फ्री है चाइना का है और सबसे स्मार्ट लेकिन सर कैलकुलेशन में मेरी नॉलेज में नहीं हो सकता है हो सकता है मैं लोग ऐसा भी इंजीनियरिंग की जो भी किया है क्योंकि मैं प्रोफेसर हूँ मैं काम करने की करूँ क्योंकि मुझे रिसर्च एक पैसा दे रहे हैं तो मैं उसका पैसा खर्च कर रहा हूँ तो थैंक यू वेरी मच आप
Yeah, in the interest of time, we will have the last question from the audience, please.
सर आप उसमें लिखिए आप क्या करिए माता माता जी बहुत बड़ा रोग है student is typing on ChatGPT and getting the answer of everything. It's the role of teacher. आपका रोल क्या है स्टूडेंट को आप प्रैक्टिकल छोड़ देना चाहिए कॉन्सेप्ट पढ़ाना चाहिए उसे कॉन्सेप्ट को पढ़ना चाहिए बेटा मैं आपको बता दूं मैं अभी अगली बार देखूं थोड़ा सा पूरा कर दो आप आंसर भी चल रहे हैं मैंने आपसे कहा था कि एक इंटरनेशनल बोर्ड है क्या जैसे हमारे यहाँ सीबीएसई बोर्ड मैंने अपने बेटे को वहां तक जज करता हूँ ठीक है प्राइवेट प्राइवेट अब मैंने जब पेपर देखा उसमें अलाउ था कैलकुलेटर साइंटिफिक कैलकुलेटर अलाउ था ठीक है और उसने केवल ये लिखा हुआ था आपको कॉन्सेप्ट आनी चाहिए वहां पर ए प्लस बी का होल स्क्वायर भी उसी के एनेस्टर में लिखा हुआ था दीज आर द कॉन्सेप्ट अगर आती है आप फॉर्मूला पकड़ लेंगे अब आपका प्रश्न है कि हमारी क्या भूमिका होगी ठीक है सर यस यू आर राइट अब क्या है आपकी भूमिका अभी तो समाप्त नहीं हुई है क्योंकि अभी आपके पास डोमेन नॉलेज उस स्टूडेंट से ज्यादा है क्योंकि वो स्टूडेंट क्या करेगा प्रॉम्प्ट को गलत डालेगा राइट प्रॉम्प्ट गलत डालेगा वो आप ही बढ़िया दे सकते हैं अगर वो चैट जीपीटी से भी प्रॉम्प्ट डलवाए तो उसकी समझ ही नहीं है कि मैं कौन सा प्रॉम्प्ट जहां पर आप एक गाइड पे तो बच्चे इंटेलिजेंट आगे बढ़ो ये हाँ मुश्किल से देखिए तो बता दूं मैंने नहीं कहा आपका मैं आपको बताऊं उन्होंने तो कहा है कि विदिन 10 ईयर्स सारी यूनिवर्सिटी बदल ये सही कोई एकदम उस साल के अंदर घोषणा की हो सकता है 5 साल में हो गए कि कोई दिसंबर जनवरी में कितना बड़ा बम क्या चीज हो जाएगा है ना तो एजुकेशन सिस्टम में तो बहुत बड़ा सा मैं कह ही नहीं सकता कि यूनिवर्सिटियां नहीं होगी क्योंकि इतने बड़े आदमी ये कह रहे हैं जबकि इंटर ने इस बात को कह दिया है तो नोबेल प्राइज मिल रहा है आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस अब देखिए मजे की बात जब इंटर की बात आप देखिएगा विकिपीडिया में नाम डाल करके एमए किया है साइकोलॉजी से नोबेल प्राइज मिला फिजिक्स का मिला किसमें आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस पहले साइकोलॉजी गजब की बात है अब आप समझ गए होंगे कि यूनिवर्सिटीज की स्थिति क्या होगी ये लेकिन अभी हाँ नहीं 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 उसकी एक ही बात है यूनिवर्सिटी से मेरा मतलब है सर जो सिमिलरिटी पर मैंने आपसे बात की तो नहीं फिर इसको बदल पाएंगे सही में हमें कंटेंट हमारा क्या होगा फिजिकली का हमारी स्मृति बहुत अच्छी रहती नहीं है नहीं आपके लोग ये पहले से कंट्रोल नहीं आ रहे हैं बिजनेस लाइक केवल सब क्योंकि उसका 10,000 कंपनीज तो ये एक फ्रेंचाइजी लाइक जिससे इन्फॉर्मेशन बिल्कुल से बहुत जो बाहरी मेमोरी बाकी बात अगर बच्चियां भी बनने लगी मेमोरी और कम होगी यही हाल ये होना है सर आप दो खाने को तैयार है अभी आप डायरेक्टर बात करेंगे करते होंगे नहीं सबका क्या को
10-15 मिनट लगेंगे तो फ्री हो।
बिल्कुल सुनो नहीं गया अंदर की बात इन चाहिए बिल्कुल और भी सुनेगा तो डेटिंग में दिसंबर की कर रहा हूँ वास्तव में जो हम पूरा नहीं हिंद रावत से बाकी बोल दिया इसमें मॉन्सून चल रही है तो बातचीत कर रहे हैं है ना यहाँ तक कि इनको अभी अमेरिका के वाइस प्रेसिडेंट ने जो एक मुश्किल से पॉपुलर हो गए जो एआई जो राज कर गए इनकी एक मीटिंग बुलाई और उनसे कहा भाई ये बताओ कि हमको चाइना से आगे बढ़े कैसे बढ़ेंगे और तुम चिंता मत करो अन्यथा बातचीत तुमको निकालो प्लीज तो क्या इतनी दौड़ लगी हम तो क्या है हम तो कंज्यूमर टाइप के लोग हैं किसी ने बना दिया हमने यूज कर लिया फिर हमने कहा हमको एआई के पास होगा तो कहाँ से होगा हम तो कंज्यूमर हैं तो वही तो आप हमारे एलएलएम ही नहीं है कि हमारे पास अपना सर्च इंजन तो का क्षेत्र कर सकते अपना गूगल ही नहीं अपना गूगल का तो सर्च इंजन जी ओके थैंक यू वेरी
Thank you very much, Dr. Arvind Joshi, for
बतानी पड़ेगा कि स्पेज लिख के रहे
Thank you very much, Dr. Arvind Joshi, for your insightful and researching address. Your address has surely given us a clear understanding of how AI is going to transform and revolutionize the academic world. It is now time to felicitate Dr. Arvind Joshi. May I now request Principal Dr. U.K. Sanjeev to please come on the stage and felicitate. Okay, there is a slight change in the program. We are first of all having Dr. U.K. Jackie Ji, who is Vice President of Management Committee of our college. We are proudly welcoming him and requesting Dr. U.P. Sanjeev to kindly participate him with also William on the time of presenting a plan which is a message for the green boy. Thank you, Dr. Ji, for accepting our honor. This was just a very small gesture from our side. And now request ladies and gentlemen, we are proudly honoring our invited speaker, Dr. Arvind Joshi ji, whose talks have given us a new hope in the world of numerous challenges in the field of AI and academics. I now request Dr. U.K. Jackie sir to please give a word of blessing to the esteemed gathering. We always have you as our spine in the academic and non-academic forum. And we are eagerly looking forward to listening to you. Thank you.
हम नहीं कर रहे।
तो आपको समझाया कि इससे क्या हो सकता है। आनंद पूर्ण Yes, sir. Hello. Yeah. ठीक है तो हमने तो उतर जाते हैं तो मुझे आता ये समझ इंटेलिजेंस के आगे ऊपर
सर मुझे आपसे बहुत
इंटेलिजेंस
सर एक्चुअली
जीवन का सवाल वो तो है जब आप इसको ग्रहण करता हूँ and your brain also needs exercise.
जी
Learning is an exercise. आप एक आप और टाइम इंटरव्यू में एक हो जाएगा
जो
you have to
क्या हमारा पीस
so that you can grab more and more. So
चीज
क्या
भी सर
and for talking about scientific no one can complete the capability of the
मेरा यहाँ पर ऑनलाइन भी कराते हैं जी
और सात थर्ड सेमेस्टर के बाद
कराते हैं सर्टिफिकेट तब तक महंगे जो ढंग से काम बहुत मजा रिज्यूमे दे जो हमारे पहचान के स्टार्टअप से टीचर ये सोसाइटी अच्छे
अच्छा करे तो चाहिए इसे हाँ सर क्या करते इसका
intelligence cannot be artificial. This is a gift from the God and we should respect it. Thank you.
The Vice President of the Indian Company, who has also announced Professor of Chemistry, Dr. Valedictory. So, your precious presence and provide calls, given us one second, and encourage us to undertake many such endeavors in the future. Thank you very much. Respected esteemed guests, faculty members, research scholars, dear students, and virtual audience. It is my proud privilege to report the vote of thanks on behalf of organizing committee of this symposium. At the outset, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our principal and patron of the symposium, Dr. Thompson, for his constant support and guidance. Our special gratitude goes to our esteemed members from National Committee, Dr. Vijay and Dr. Vijay for being our regular strength and support. Our special gratitude goes to Samina, Dr. Vijay for conceptualizing and steering this symposium with relentless dedication. We are honored by the presence of our distinguished keynote speaker, Professor Jean-Charles Lamerel, who delivered a profound keynote address and given us a global perspective in understanding artificial intelligence in academics. It is my bounden duty to express my gratitude to our for sharing our insights and reflections on the question of ethics and research writing in the context of AI. A special thanks to our invited speaker, Dr. Arvind Joshi, for his reflections on bridging the divide between academia and technology. He is one speaker who we would like to hear more and more. In fact, very often, 3 or 4 times in a year. I express my deepest gratitude to you, sir. I also take this opportunity to pay my gratitude to the faculty members of different colleges and institutions and my own colleagues from this college, research scholars and students for their active participation and for being eager and exquisitive participants. Behind every successful event and program is a dedicated team. I sincerely thank the organizing committee, the allied committees formed for this symposium, the technical staff, the volunteers, the coordinators for their seamless effort in planning and executing this symposium. I also take this opportunity to express my gratitude to the online audience, which made our symposium even more successful. Let's conclude with the thought that artificial intelligence may reshape the tools of learning, but it is the human wisdom that is creating a guide to walk hand in hand with AI. As the co-founder of Coursera and founder of Google Brain, Andrew Ng has said, AI is new electricity. Just like electricity transformed 20th century, AI is transforming 21st century. Our deepest thanks and gratitude once again, and our appreciation from the bottom of our heart to all those present and participating or engaged and connected with this symposium anyhow. Thank you very much, Gavin. May I now request all of you to kindly be in standing motion for paying reverence to the national anthem. पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा उत्कल बंगा हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जल वितरंग तब शुभ नाम जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे. Salute to our nation, to our nation. Jai Hind. Now we all wait for lunch. I request all